Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish?
Yeah.
Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish?
Yeah.
In the ocean water.
Can't get used to it.
It's only been 99 episodes, and we still do shit like that.
He's like an Inver sandwich.
We'll get it one day. Another 99 episodes, and we'll have it.
Ears.
I can imagine it hurt my ears, but I'm not even wearing fancy headphones. Marvelous breadfish.
Swimming in the ocean waters. Have you seen the marvelous breadfish? He's like an Inver sandwich for a fisherman and sharks. Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish? Swimming in the ocean waters. Have you seen the marvelous breadfish? He's like an Inver sandwich.
He's like an infant sandwich.
Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish? Swimming in the ocean waters. Have you seen the marvelous breadfish? He's like an Inver sandwich.
You're really good at Spanish.
A fisherman and sharks.
Alright, you can shut this shit off.
Tell me, have you seen
This is what you wanted.
Ready
Ready to talk. It's 8:01. The listeners are getting antsy. Well, just like the marvelous breadfish, I got 99 problems, and a breadfish ain't one. We're also at episode 99.
Yeah.
One away from
Welcome
100, which I'm sure you already know that.
to the
No
podcast.
This is Prometheus,
This is Agamemnon.
and this is Straight Outta Austin, presented by Punching the Walls of Reality.
Yeah.
You should go there. They got good stuff on there. So I hear. I mean, I don't go there myself, you know. But you should. It's good.
We don't do that.
yeah, it's like that sounds good for your income bracket.
Whatever that means.
It's an Aqua Teens reference. I always want to reference it, but I never want someone to like take me seriously. Like they don't get the reference.
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm being like snobbish. It's
I
like,
think that makes an even better like reaction. You're like, are you serious, bro?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you go to see motion pictures. Yeah, that sounds fun for your income bracket. It's like I have motion pictures brought to my house via
cost
helicopter.
$10.
Yeah, I charge myself admission.
So we're in an epic. We're one episode away from 100, and even though 100 is always a landmark,
Yeah.
you know, we've been doing this for just over 2 years now, and I gotta say, even 99 feels like a really like landmark episode.
It really does. I mean, we're right there. We're right on the cusp. It's like as long as like we don't spontaneously combust or something, then you know we got this.
Yeah,
You know.
I think so.
Hopefully, Bobby Beetle will be able to join us. Right now, he's busy defending us from the real IRA and making sure that all of our gaming needs are taken care of.
Yeah.
So he's doing a very important mission. So let's give some positive vibes and love out to the Beetle. That was the vibes. If you didn't hear them,
Pretend like you're hugging.
they're going out.
Hug
It's
your
like
girlfriend and pretend it's Beetle.
Yeah, it's like it's the rays, like you know, like the old cartoons, like the. That's what the love beams sound like.
Oh, is that?
That's exactly. You don't hear them?
No.
I hear them from all the listener.
Yeah, I think the listener's me right now.
Yeah, I think it's me as well.
I think everyone's trickling in, like, slowly.
Well, hey, they're enjoying a wonderful MLK Day.
Yeah, everyone's...
They're taking advantage of the water fountains they can all drink from now, and I think that is a beautiful thing. But, yeah, so... guess we'll move on to... Oh, actually, I don't know. You had a story. I don't know if you want to tell your story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just came from the Texican. Shout out to the Texican for having delicious Dollar Monday tacos. Yeah, they got a deal right. Like, well, it's every Monday.
Oh, yeah.
They do dollar tacos during happy hour.
Worth every penny?
Yeah, it's like $6 for for 6 delicious tacos, and you can have meat or chicken, soft or crunchy.
We totally should have coordinated with the Texican, because it's like you get a taco for 100 pennies on the 100th episode.
There you go. Yeah.
We pretend like it's our deal, but really it's their deal that they do every Monday.
Yeah.
But no one must know.
No one will know.
Yeah.
No one will be listening.
Except now. Now everybody knows.
So so I was leaving Hibiki, leaving the kid and Maria, and I was getting in my car. I put my iPhone in so I can listen to my Russian metal, and I'm pulling out, and it's a tight space, it's a tight parking lot, so you gotta kind of be careful. So I get close enough to the car behind me on the other side, but enough to where I can just smoothly and comfortably
Ease your way in?
ease my way out.
Oh, ease your way out.
And I'm leaving, but I'm doing like fucking 2 miles an hour, right? And I see this like a '94 Ford Explorer or something like that, and he's coming by. So
that was a good year.
I stop, plain and simple, just stop.
Yeah.
And then I look down and I hit play on my song, and I'm letting it go. I'm like, okay, this is the song I want to listen to. And then as soon as and this is all in the matter of like 2 or 3 seconds, and then I look up. And the driver of said Explorer is like staring at me with like these huge bugged out eyeballs, and I'm just like sucked into him.
Yeah.
And I just staring at him, like my mouth wide open and kind of like.
They gave you the pennant stare.
Yeah, well, it's like anytime you're looking down, you're doing something like you're sewing or writing, and then someone just calls your name, you're just kind of like, huh? And that's like the face I had, huh? And I just kind of sat there like still like staring at him the whole time. It's like, this guy is not looking ahead of him. Like, he could have just ran over, like, a group of children and not batted an eye because his eyes are just bulging out. Like, there's nothing his eyelids could do for him.
Did he tell you to look into his eyes and tell him what it is you see?
Yeah, he's giving me the ghost. He's giving me the penance stare. Ghost Rider penance stare.
I got him a everybody.
But he's looking at me like... how did I say it earlier?
Like he knew you, or like you knew him or something.
No, it wasn't even that. He looked like I told him something foul.
Oh, yeah. You said like he was looking at you like you banged his mom.
Yeah, like I told him I was going to bang his mom and grandma at the same time while I had him duct taped to a chair where he couldn't get out, and his eyelids were like taped up so he couldn't close his eyelids. He couldn't look away, and his eyes were just burning with like cedar fever.
Was Mother Uckers by Fly the Conchords playing in the background?
No, it was business time.
Oh, you had your business socks on?
Yeah. And she's like, is that it? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, but he's like giving me this fucking look, and I know what the look is. I'm just making fun of him, but the look is like, look like you're calling me a motherfucker. Let me just see you mouth the word motherfucker, and I'll stop this 95 Ford Explorer, pop out this bitch, and go back to jail. I will do it for whatever reason I might have had to stare at you while you comfortably stopped while I drove by, you cunt.
You should have mouthed Buttercup.
Yeah. Vacuum. But I just sat there looking at him, and then like he went away, and he was still like literally I wanted to say like he was looking at his fucking seatbelt, like staring at me, like he was probably looking at like that little panel on the side, still trying to like look. Do you believe this motherfucker?
Yeah, it's like no one's even in the car to hear him yell.
And I don't know. The bitch of it was like
him.
Yeah, well, him. He's the bitch of it all. But it's like you could have Shaquille O'Neal like lay down between both vehicles comfortably
while playing Shaq Fu.
While playing Shaq Fu with a Superman fluff pillow under his head without having to worry about anybody running him over. Like, that's how much space there was between us.
Yeah.
And he's like, did you see that guy? He just almost fucking hit the side panel of my 95 Ford Explorer. That fucking douchebag. I'm going to kick his ass. I don't get it. Why would you stare at somebody like that? There's like, it's not like I was like, just stop. Oh my god, my heart's like pounding. Like, that was nothing like that. And he's just staring at me.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason. I just drove away. I'm just smiling, like wondering, is he gonna follow me? Was he leaving, or was he trying to find a parking spot to like feed his hunger?
Maybe he was hangry.
maybe he was hangry. I understand the feeling, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. Maybe it was a different level of hangry I've never experienced.
He was at Shaquille O'Neal level where not even a Shaq soda could quench that thirst.
Yeah, not all the concentrated sugar in the world could do a thing for this man.
Maybe you tried to summon Kazam and he wasn't there. He's like, "There's a Shaq-sized space right here. Yeah. Where's Kazam? You can perfectly fit right here." And he just took it out on you.
I don't know. It was just so weird. And then like going down the road later on, there was this Ultima like way behind me. And, I used to live over there off of Crowns Point.
Yeah.
And so I'm just about I'm on Manchac, about to pass up Crowns Point, and this Ultima just speeds up and cuts right in front of me and slows down. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, completely just out of nowhere. I was just sitting there driving. I was like, there was 3 cars behind me. One turns into Walgreens, one turns into Sonic, and the other one is going towards like the crossing.
Yeah.
So then now I'm free. So there's no way I can't think of anybody that I could have fucked over.
Yeah.
Because I'm going as fast as the 3 cars in front of me.
Uh-huh.
From the stoplight at Slaughter.
Yeah.
And this dude just like cuts me off. The same way, like maybe I was just talking about fucking that dude's mom too or something, and cuts me off and slows down to like 25 miles. I'm like, what is going on? So I just like slow down, and then he speeds up, passes that Texaco right there, and then he gets into the middle and goes off of Crowns Point. I was just like, what the hell? What is wrong with this dude? Is it like car envy or some shit? Like I don't understand it, dude. And then I just went over to like right from there. I'm at William Cannon in Manchac, and there's an APD SUV next to me.
Yeah,
and they're just staring at me. Like I look at them, and I just wave, and then the guy just like stares at me. He's got this stupid like baseball hat on that just says like APD on it, and he's just like looking. Just like chewing his gum and shit, just like staring, like doesn't wave back, like he's too good for it. Like I know you're Travis County.
Yeah, right.
I know who you are.
You ain't the real law in these parts.
I know who you are. I know who you work for. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna pick my nose. And then he just leaves, and then they like slowly follow me. I was like, what is wrong with these dudes, man? Like everyone, like in that 10 minutes, like I just attracted every like weirdo. All of a sudden.
I don't know. APD does that. I can't make excuses for anybody else, but I swear, like, they're always, like, just looking for you to do something.
I don't know,
It's just like, let me just follow. Because it's like, I feel like they try to intimidate you to make you make, like, a traffic mistake. Because they're, like, right behind you, just like, come on. Change lanes without indicating. I dare ya.
Do something.
I double dog. I triple dog.
The department
dare ya.
needs money.
Yeah, right. We need to siphon it from your earnings for ours.
Because our earnings are going to all the cases against us.
We're still overpaid.
To all the civil battles we keep losing.
Yeah, no, right. for all the people we killed needlessly. Hey, I thought the cell phone was a gun. What was I supposed to do? I can see that being like their actual responses. Like, you pulled out a cell phone. Those things give you cancer. I had to take him out.
Yeah, before the cancer did.
Yeah.
When you think about it, I was doing the guy a favor.
Exactly. It was a clean kill, damn it. We didn't need another Walter White on our hands. You saw what happened. You saw what that meth did to Albuquerque. And they have an APD, too. Did the world a favor, damn it. Favor, this is the thanks I get.
Moving on.
So, start off with our first topic. So now everyone's been excited about Batman vs. Superman, a.k.a. Man of Steel 2, a.k.a. Justice League, a.k.a. hey, Gal Gadot's in there.
Yeah.
Well, it's been postponed until May 6, 2016.
Man.
Because apparently Ben Affleck broke his chin bone. No, he actually injured his leg.
He broke his manhood.
So they're pushing it back. I guess it was supposed to come out in July 17th, 2015. So we'll have to wait a whole another year. So, to me, honestly, the worst part about this, I mean, obviously I hope Ben Affleck gets better. You know, I don't have any ill will towards him other than the fact that I don't want him to be Batman.
Right.
But I mean, it's just like, okay, there's been so many rumors and so much speculation. It's like, we got to deal with a whole another year of this shit.
Yeah.
And how many more Justice League characters are they going to throw in there before, this movie's actually completed?
Right.
I think the upside is it gives Gal Gadot, like, more time to, like, get into excellent shape. So now it's like, anyone who was hating, it's like, all right, well, now she's got, like, a whole nother year.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no way that she's not going to be like physically like this Amazonian beast.
Yeah.
Straight up just punching holes through people.
That's true. And I think it was the Mary Sue that had an interesting kind of twist on it or take on it.
What a twist.
And the whole thing was what they were speculating on there was that, this could just be a move because they just got that writer, the guy, the Ben Affleck's buddy who helped him write Argo.
Oh, yeah.
And, this gives him time to kind of like rework the script, work on the writing a little bit, make the story more solid.
Yeah.
So there's not as many butthurt people as there were for Man of Steel. We'll
I'm
get
sure
to
they'll
that.
still come out in
and we'll get back to
drones
Man of
anyway.
Steel because watching the second time, it was magnificent.
You are my son.
So I liked it even more.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and this before I get back on topic, because we were just watching Superman Returns like not a week ago, and I saw like half of it, and I was like, this movie is garbage. So
he shot the bullet with his eye, all right.
yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna break this thing, this picture frame. And then Jimmy Olsen looks so. Anyways.
Great film, folks. Great film.
It just felt like bad TV show.
It just made me sad because Kevin Spacey was in it. It's just like,
He was good. He was really good.
He was the
in
only
it.
good part about it. But it's just like Kevin Spacey why couldn't they put him? Why could the movie should have raised its standards because Kevin Spacey was a part of it instead of having him. He had to carry it on his back.
Yeah.
But I like when he shanked Superman with a kryptonite and started kicking him. That was
See, I didn't get to that part.
That was the only part where I was like, yeah, this is good. But anyway, go on.
Well, I digress. But their whole take was like, this is their chance pretty much. It was like a move. Because whether it's true or not, say he did break his leg, but it could just be hearsay regardless.
Yeah.
Just to like, hey, let's move this movie back. Because I think like a Pinocchio movie or some other Disney movie, or not Disney movie, some movie that Warner Bros. was slated to come out at that time.
Yeah.
They're kind of pushing that one back so that they can put Justice League out. Or maybe they're swapping the dates. I don't exactly remember. But not only to like rework the script, but to get all their actors in a row and make sure that everyone's going to be available. And, just so that like all the haters, us pretty much, have nothing bad to say like once the movie comes out and we're like, we need to make this movie as perfectly as possible. Let's not rush it. Because, to be honest, they were rushing it as it was. The movie came out in 2013.
Yeah.
And all this news came out in 2013. Just like, dude, like you're having all these people for this movie like announce, and like this movie hasn't even hit DVD yet,
Well, that was the whole thing, because they were already talking about, like, the future of a Justice League movie rests squarely on the shoulders of Man of Steel. And I remember when they were premiering it, and they had some screenings, they're like, oh, people are responding well. They were really excited. They're like, this is it. We're finally going to make that Justice League movie. And then when it finally came out, and it was polarizing, and some people loved it, some people hated it, and they're like, shit.
Yeah,
you got to do it all over again,
I can't remember a time where, like, a very, like... highly anticipated movie, that's the word I was looking for. A very highly anticipated movie like Man of Steel had been so complete, like polarizing. There's not a more perfect word than that.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I've never experienced that before with a movie so huge to where like I loved it, everyone I went with loved it.
Yeah.
But when you actually go to, the internet, mainstream media, and they're like, there was people that hated it. There was people that loved it no matter where you went. Like, like polarizing. That was the word. You go to Rotten Tomatoes, go to Metacritic, and it was literally in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then 40s, and then 30s, and then back up to the 50s. And it's just like, wow. Like,
yeah, people really took it to task. Like, they were not happy at all.
Yeah, it was like fucking... you imagine if people got like that passionate about... And not just like super... conservatives and Democrats, but just like literally got that passionate about politics, like all the way around. I think more people cared about how Man of Steel ended than they did about us going to a war with Iran.
Yeah,
a year ago. That's just how polarizing this movie was. It's like this supersedes any importance in politics currently, or maybe even like the last 5 years.
Well, see, they made politics as interesting as House of Cards. More people would give a shit. So they need to step their game up. See, Kevin Spacey saves everything. Let Kevin Spacey run for senator, and people will give a shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just, that was really incredible. And even all the news, like afterwards, like, it was just Superman was hotly debated. Like,
Yeah.
oh, now it's Batman. Oh, well, now Superman can't carry a movie without Batman. It's like, and I disagree. Like, watching Superman the second time, I rented it the other day, and I was like, no, this dude could totally hold his own movie again the second time. This is not like a Brandon Ruth. This isn't a fucking Bryan Singer movie. And, you know, and Superman Returns got favorable reviews. It's like a 70%, I think, on Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes.
Not from me.
It's got a pretty fresh rating. And then Superman is like on the opposite end of that. It's like 40. The last time I checked, it was like 42.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing I could really say for that, I mean, obviously I didn't like Superman Returns, but it's like, not the main argument, but a huge argument, especially with, like, you know, big Superman fans and, you know, the internet at large, was that Man of Steel didn't accurately depict Superman the way that they see Superman.
Yeah.
Whereas Superman Returns, for all its flaws, was still a very Superman movie. Like, he was still saving people, you know, stopping bullets with his eyes. You know, it's like, it was still Superman. There was Kryptonite, there was Luthor, there was Lois Lane, there's damsel in distress, whereas Man of Steel was like, there's not even kryptonite. Like, I can understand there are people with that. It's like, really, you're going to take on an essential part of the Superman mythos and not expect people to bitch? It would be like if they took out Crime Alley from Batman. Like, his parents were just like, they just left one day. It's like, yeah, Bruce, we're going on a cruise. We'll be back. Never.
Right.
Raise yourself with your butler.
Well, it was like, you know, because I had made that whole statement on Facebook a couple days ago. Where did I say? Rewatch Man of Steel. It was even more powerful than the first viewing. And I had said something else. Well, okay, like my buddy Carrie, I will never understand why people were all mad regarding how this film was. Why does Soup's got to be all campy like Christopher Reeves? It's supposed to be a modern retelling of Clark's origin. And then you said, you are my son.
That I did.
And then I said, my wife just asked for a reading syllabus for a character she never cared for. Plot holes aside, it doesn't get more inspiring than that. And I stay by that. It really doesn't. Somebody, like, Hibiki's favorite characters are, like, She-Hulk, The Thing, you know, very, like, kind of lovable characters, but characters she can really relate with.
Yeah.
You know? She likes Robin. She likes Raven from the DC side. Batman. Everybody loves Batman. Hard-pressed to find that 0.01% that doesn't like Batman.
There are some Batman haters out there.
There's some Batman haters.
We will track you down and destroy you.
Yeah. And they'll still be there. That's how prevalent they are. And then
do my bidding.
Jelani, a friend of mine on Facebook, who's used to go by the moniker Victor Von Doom on Ultimate Central. Only 3 stories I can recommend are Mark Waid's Birthright, Mark Miller's Red Sun, which I own, and Kurt Busiek's Secret Identity. So the other 2 I still need to get. And then I didn't see hers, but Red Infamy put like that. I don't know what kind of face that is, like not amused face.
Yeah.
And Martin Thomas, also known as Leon from
formerly of Spill.com.
Formerly of Spill.com. He said, Birthright, Red Sun, and Secret Identity are perfect recommendations because, like Man of Steel, they are all alternative visions of the character that only visually resemble Superman. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just thinking, because I remember when I read that, I was like, that's actually a very good point. Like, it seems like he's kind of being a little bit snarky, but he makes like a perfectly valid point. It's like, but that's why I love those, or at least the Red Sun, that's the only one I've read, and that's why I love Man of Steel, because the regular Superman bores the shit out of me. So it's like, these are stories about Superman that are actually interesting, that are actually like somewhat relatable, whereas Superman's, you know, typically a character that's not relatable.
He really isn't. That was the beautiful part. Like, I remember just rewatching the beginning, and maybe like I was just kind of mystified, like when we were watching the theater and we were getting kick out of like Mark's reactions.
Oh my god!
Because he was literally like, no lie. Kid was at the edge of his seat the entire film. I think during the credits he was like chilled back, but once the movie started, like he scooted up and he never left the edge.
Oh yeah,
you know, he got up and then put his seat back down so he could sit on the edge again. But that's where he stayed the entire film.
Yeah,
you understand? It's like
you get it now?
And you're getting it now. But that was just crazy. I was so like perplexed by, like, I had never seen anybody that excited for a movie. I've never been that excited for a movie, and I get pretty excited for movies that I really enjoy. But you know, watching it the second time around, I really just sat through and I was like, you know, that was me in school. You know, I got picked on a lot for being like fat, overweight, and stuff for the longest time, and that kind of went away once I had moved schools. But by the time I hit like the 9th grade, I was already in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
And that followed me when I ended up going from Del Valley to Bowie. But that never took away the fact that for the majority of my time in school, I was picked on for being fat and different, and I had like a handful of friends, and we were all nerds.
Yeah,
you know, and you be in a school where gangsterism is highly regarded, and yeah, I played sports and I was really damn good, but at heart I was a nerd. I loved video games, I loved comics, and I loved TV shows and cartoons. And
would you say you're extraordinary?
I was extraordinary, coming to a public access channel near you. Yeah, and I loved Power Rangers, and I had to keep that from my friends. I loved to watch Power Rangers. And they would always make fun of it, and I'd be like that kid, like, yeah, Power Rangers suck. Hey guys, I'm gonna go inside and eat a big bowl of cereal. I'm gonna lock the doors. Don't knock. Don't try to come and bother me for the next 30 minutes.
Draw your blind shut.
And me and Bilbo would sit there and watch fucking Power Rangers until it was over. I'd be done with my big bowl of cereal. That wasn't a lie because I was fat. And then we'd go back outside and we'd play some baseball. You know. And those were my days, just hiding the things that I really enjoyed because my other friends were like stupid and ignorant and didn't enjoy those same things to a degree, to the same degree that I did, you know. So
Even
I don't know.
Secretly, like under their shirts, they had their Power Ranger shirts on.
I know.
If only, dude.
If only. But yeah, like seeing that whole part, you know, where he's like stuck in that closet, and it's just kind of like, well, it wasn't ever like that extreme, but I just like felt like, I felt like wanting to do that, you know, like I wanted to run out because kids would make fun of me, and I'd want to go to the bathroom, or I'd want to call my mom to come pick me up. But I had to sit there and stick it out, and I would just get quiet and just keep writing really, you know, tediously.
Yeah.
That's how my handwriting's so beautiful. So
Hashtag self-props.
Self-props. I have immaculate handwriting, by the way. But yeah, I mean, so when I was rewatching all that, it kind of like struck a chord. Like now that I'm paying attention on the small screen, you know, and I just I was able to take it in more, and I was like, Superman went through the same shit I did. But it wasn't like the Superman I grew up with. It was like, wow, it took 30 years for me to relate to Superman.
Yeah.
And it was like the one that everyone hates the most. And maybe there's some truth in that, you know? Maybe there's just like, oh, well, Superman is supposed to be that untouchable dude that everyone aspires to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of saying like, well, he started out small just like all of us, you know?
To me, what I loved about it, because like when he was getting his powers and like you said, like getting picked on and all that, like it had a very like X-Men type feel.
It really did. It really did. Whereas like you have powers and the rest of the world doesn't understand you, and he's told all his life like no one will ever understand who you are or be able to relate to you. But one day the world will be ready, and they will
join you in the sun.
Yeah, they will join, and that's what Jor-El and Jonathan Kent were trying to prep him up for his entire life, you know. So it was just two sides of the same coin, like telling like they're never gonna be ready for you, but eventually they're gonna remember you. They're gonna know who you are one day, regardless, if you want them to or not, you know. So I was just thought, like, you know, it did have a very X-Men feel now that you put it that way.
Yeah, it was just like a really good story of alienation, you know, no pun intended. But I mean, like, literally, like, you know, he's alienated because he's different, and it's like, okay, you know, people can relate to that instead of just like, oh, here's a Superman who can't be beat by anything, and he just punches his way out of all his problems.
And that's the thing, and, you know, it's funny that we bring that up because, like, now the people that always bashed Superman for not being relatable can finally relate to him, and it just feels like the purists, it makes them feel that much more petty now. Like their whole argument for like this isn't Superman I grew up with, it's like, well, you know what, suck it, you had Christopher Reeves, you already have your great Superman movie. I love that movie, it's a great movie, but that's not a movie that I can relate to. That's a movie like everyone else can relate to. You know, because that's a Superman that they grew up knowing and loving. Like, yeah, you have your Superman movie. Now let me have mine. Yeah. You know, I get the Superman that has the sweet DBZ fights and the awesome hot chick fucking busting ass everywhere. Yeah. You know?
Chick Vegeta.
Yeah, dude, she was fucking best part. Like, hands down, best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that whole, I don't know, just like the way she was going, like like zigzagging.
Oh
Boom,
yeah.
boom,
That was
boom.
so
like,
DBZ.
Oh my god.
That was like the Saiyan fight where Nappa, like when the dude like rips when he takes out the jet.
I was telling Beaky, like, there's this part right here where like he's gonna rip through the jet, and it shows it's like that's like I want to say that was taken straight out of an episode of DBZ.
That's like even in the DBZ intro.
Yeah,
when he flies through and he just takes off the wing.
Yeah, he runs through the wing, and then he starts destroying the rest of the naval fleet.
It's like just the fact that we'll never get a good DBZ movie. It's like we got it in those sequences.
We got it, yeah,
you know,
yeah. We really did.
Get.
We honestly did, yeah.
All Superman needed was a power pole. We would have been set.
Yeah, I know, a little spirit bomb.
Earth, give me your energy.
Yeah, give me your strength.
You are my strength.
Some random deer and fish flopping around.
Yeah. Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can feel for the I guess as you call them, the Superman purists, because, you know, being like a big Batman fan, if they had changed like the core of Batman, I would be very upset. So I get the fact that they didn't like it and the reasons why they didn't like it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm with you. I was like, yeah, but at the same time, I like the fact that I could actually really enjoy it and be like, oh, this is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like for the whole like all the summer blockbusters like that, and maybe like the Star Trek movie were probably they were like neck and neck for my favorites.
Yeah, yeah. I can't tout that same thing because I don't have like the luxury of going to like all these different movies. But that was definitely like probably my most memorable fun movie. So like the Wolverine aside.
Yeah.
That was probably like the second most fun movie I went to see. A lot of people hated that movie, but
yeah,
it was appealing for me. Like for being an X-Men film.
For me, it was good for what it was. There were still some things where it's like a lot of predictability and like the story was way too convoluted.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the main problem with that film was just the continuity. Had they made it like a fresh film and actually went with like, and not just say like, oh, it deviated from the graphic novel. But I mean, I think it would have been a better film had they stuck to that premise, just because it wouldn't have had to add all these extra elements that I think is what bogged it down.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, well now we have to have. I mean, I don't know. Well, just to counter my own argument, the whole Jean Grey thing, I actually really liked how they handled that. Like, I think that was probably my favorite part of the movie, besides Wolverine just killing people and taking bullets like jabs. Like, oh, that kind of staggered me. Whatever, I'm Wolverine.
Yeah.
Do this all the time.
They'll just fall out of my anus eventually.
yeah, he'll pass him like a kidney stone. Oh man,
that's funny.
But yeah, to move on to the next topic, unless you had more to say.
No, I don't even remember what the original topic was.
Superman Batman being delayed to
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a point I was supposed to be making before I got sidetracked.
They just wanted to let the listeners know that you are my son.
Oh yeah, it was
Or
just
daughter.
basically like this is going to give them time to like work on all the
Perfect it.
things they do before we have a chance to bitch.
Yeah. Well,
So.
I don't know. That's the thing, though. I think if anything, it just gives us more time to bitch, because it's a whole another year.
Yeah.
Of
Like,
bad
let me see who
rumors.
you got for Aquaman. Let me find out. Let me find out who you got for Flash, motherfucker.
What? Flash ain't in the movie. He ain't fast enough for your
Oh,
cameras.
Idris Elba's Flash? Since when does a black man become fast, huh?
Yeah. This is why
Is that
black
supposed to be
people
some
run
kind
fast.
of joke? Because they get beat by the cops all the time?
What do you want with freedom, Flash?
We'll just find something to bitch about. That's racist. You hired a black man to be the Flash.
He doesn't look good in red. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
No black man does. That's like painting blood on him.
Yeah, right. It's like a both.
DC's just like, what'll make you happy? Nothing will make us
Yeah,
happy.
right.
Don't you get it?
We're gonna find something no matter
You
what
just have
you
to
do.
find solace in doing what you do, and hopefully we'll like the end result.
They finally just like, all right, we know what we're gonna do. They just like the entire movie is just them filming the comic book, like literally like flipping open the pages, flip another page, and everyone was like, that was the greatest movie ever.
We're just like, thank you. That's all we wanted.
Yeah.
Your storyboard's been here for the last 25 years.
Zack Snyder just comes out and he's just like, I give up on movies. Hangs himself. That's the end credits.
You know what would be awesome? Because you know how they already did like the neck break thing with Zod?
Yeah.
Spoilers at the end of Man of Steel.
I thought it was giving him like I think it was his chiropractor.
Yeah.
After a hard day of trying to take over the earth, he had to get those kinks out.
Never stop.
I will find you and get the kinks out of your neck.
I will find him. But like in Man of Steel 2, you know, they're going to do the Batman versus Superman thing, World's Finest. and they'll probably introduce like a handful of the Justice League, which will probably lead into a Justice League movie, which I'm hoping that kind of doesn't. Like, I would really like to see a Flash movie, a Wonder Woman movie, even though we won't, and a rehash of Green Lantern, or just like a requel of Green Lantern. Like, do it right this time.
It is a possibility, because I know this is one of their many plans, but it's to do the Justice League movie, and if that's popular enough, then to do the solo movie. So do the opposite of what Marvel's done.
Well, there's that.
Because then it's like, okay, well, now people are familiar enough. Now DC finally will be like, or Warner Brothers will be like, oh, we really can make Wonder Woman popular on screen. And, like, they'll be like, I guess we'll try it. It's not like it's that hard.
Yeah.
Like, there's a trailer for, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like one of the upcoming, like, of the animated DC movies.
Oh, War?
Yeah, I think it's War.
Yeah,
and she's like,
she's
fighting like these aliens and just kicking ass. And I'm just sitting there watching this clip like, you guys can't figure out how to make this into a movie.
I know. And she's a really dope outfit, too. It's like, yeah, it's a unitard. She's showing a lot of leg, but it's like, she looks dope as shit.
Yeah.
And she's just going out like, I'll take care of these guys. And she just whips out her sword and starts to, like, fucking own it everybody. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love.
It's just, I don't know. It boggles my mind. I just see the executives, like, they're watching that clip and it's like, I don't get the appeal. I don't see how they can make this good.
So, okay, so my whole thing is like then they make the Justice League movie and say they do like a couple of spin-offs. You know, they finally give Wonder Woman her own movie, Flash movie, maybe a Green Lantern requel, and then they come back to like Justice League 2 eventually, and that would be cool to see them do like the Injustice thing, to where like everything looks honky-dory and fine, and then they open up with like the Joker killing Lois Lane or like half the city, the way it was done in Injustice. Like, let's just go with the whole, you know, if we're gonna go with the modern retelling, let's just turn it on its head, and just create this epic storyline that like no one would ever think of doing, you know, in Hollywood at the very least.
Aquaman on Aquaman action.
That'd be fucking sweet, dude.
Played by Josh Holloway.
I was like, and this all stems from like the whole Zod breaking, neck breaking thing. Like, let's stick with that kind of violence. Let's just go for it. Let's do Injustice. Let's do it. Let's just
break
dive
everybody's neck.
Let's just dive in and do the thing, you know?
Might as well. I mean, it would be nice to do like original, or I guess that's not an original story, but like something that hasn't been done, like in the movies or even in the animated movies, and just like actually, you know, take Justice League somewhere where people really wouldn't expect it.
Like
to go.
the next Batman movie, to make it the Killing Joke.
Yeah,
you know, just like the really taboo stories that were just like really gripping and like everybody loves them.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that would be awesome.
That would be. Well, speaking of the Killing Joke, Gotham. So apparently they had originally the Gotham TV show. They originally had announced that Donald Logie, who played Torek in Sons of Anarchy, was going to be was offered the part of Commissioner Gordon. But turns out that the Latino Review kind of jumped the gun, and he was actually going to be offered the part as Detective Harvey Bullock.
Oh.
So,
I'm trying to think of who... Oh, Donald Logue, okay.
Yeah,
I
Torek,
could totally...
Yeah. You
Well,
monster!
That's not how he said it. He's like, you monster!
That's exactly how he
You make him seem all whiny, like, you monster! You bastard! Every time you say that, I think of like when you guys talk about Bitchberry. Like, you bastard!
Hey, that was when he messed with Sam Crow.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
But I think he could make a really good Bullock.
Yeah. No, he
definitely
had Torek. Oh, totally, dude. Totally. He'd be an incredible Bullock because he'd do like the whole dirty cop thing.
Yeah.
So, well, Bullock wasn't really a dirty cop.
He was just an asshole.
Yeah, he was. He was just a jerk. He was very judgmental, but he was like a good detective.
Yeah,
he was just fat and judgmental. And I loved his accent though from the
the animated series. Yeah.
So man, I wonder who's gonna play Renee Montoya then. And that's a TV show.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, you think she would like get down to the TV shows then?
Hey, started off in Lost.
She didn't start off in Lost.
Well, she made her bones in Lost.
Yeah. But she was only on there for like a couple of seasons.
That was due to unsubstantiated DWI charge.
Yeah.
I love how that happened. Like, okay, because they killed her character off, and I think Libby was her name.
Libby, yeah.
And they both got charged with DWI and all that. And they're like, oh, no, it has nothing to do with it. It's like, really? Like, that's just coincidence that both characters died, like, simultaneously, like, the same episode?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, yeah, you know,
At the hands of Harold Perrineau.
Give me that white boy! Wild!
Give me my son. I want to see my boy.
But yeah, so I don't know. I can see her going back to TV. I mean, I doubt that they would cast her. They're obviously going to cast somebody else. But that's who I always see as Renee Montoya.
Yeah. It's like when they like saw her and molded her. Even though like B-Task kind of predates Michelle Rodriguez's popular career by about 7 years, I think.
2 words: time travel.
Time travel. Oh my god.
I feel like
Rip Hunter.
Yeah, they molded after her, just like Ellie in Last of Us. It's like, that's totally not Ellen Page. She's a completely original character that does not resemble her at all.
I mean, her name's Ellie, for crying out loud.
Yeah, right. Like, they didn't even try to hide it.
Hello, Ellen? Ellie?
Yeah, exactly. Totally different. It's like it goes dun 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 dun. The makes it different. But yeah, Torque will be. I think he'll be a more respectable character in this TV show.
Who do they have as Gordon?
I don't think Gordon's casted yet.
Who would you put as
Bryan
Gordon?
Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, yeah, I would too.
I am the one who detects.
Just have him go back to TV. I wonder if he would stay in TV because he's kind of like in that part where like he could do either one comfortably.
Yeah.
You know, but would he want to stay in TV or make the leap to just like, hey, let's do movies full time for like the next decade?
I kind of feel like he wants to do movies, but I feel like he would do it. I don't think he would do it for like a full decade. I feel like he really shined as having like his own, like, because the movie roles he has done, he's been good in.
Yeah.
He's always been the supporting actor. He's never really had his time to shine. Opposite of like Breaking Bad, where it's like it's all him. You know, like he's what really makes the show. Not that everyone else isn't good; they're great.
Yeah,
but it's like that. It's a Bryan Cranston show.
Yeah, so he's the one winning like the majority of the awards.
He's the one who knocks. So I see him doing a few movies, and like I feel like he would want to do like a movie where he's like, if not the main actor, he's at least like the very like close second.
Yeah,
and I feel like he would probably do that, and then want to go back to TV and be like, all right, time to do my thing again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like maybe movies would be a safer route because it's like there's no way he's going to recreate Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like if he did, like that would be amazing for someone to have like a run on such a successful and well-received show and then do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's. The
but for those who have never seen, what was it, Batman Year One?
Yeah.
That was all about Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Where he's like taking that Marine dude out with the bat. He was like a crooked cop.
Yeah, he's like, I haven't beat up a Green Beret in a long time.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you could totally see Bryan Cranston being like the good guy, but like down and dirty. Like, I don't do that stuff anymore. But like as the series progressed, he's like having to do that stuff every now and again, and you're just like living for those like small moments where just like, is he gonna beat up this dude, or is he gonna go like the good guy route, or is he gonna be like the Punisher, like dirty good guy route?
Yeah, because he just has that intensity.
He really does.
It's just like,
could you imagine if it was like him in that scene, like on the live action show, where he's just like, I haven't beat up a Green Beret in a long time. But like the way he does it, I can see
him delivering that,
and he's just like tapping the bat like on a gravel road and just kind of pacing around the guy, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And then he just like, "Shut up!" just like right across the face. Man, I just imagine in my head, and I'm just like, wow, that's just captivating.
Oh yeah, it has a lot of potential.
That'd be awesome if he just stuck with that. If they got him for that.
Yeah, we can dream, can't we?
I'd be sold, dude. I'm recording this like every day. Like I'm not gonna make the mistake of like not watching.
Oh yeah,
not missing an episode. If I have to stay up till like 2 a.m. just to watch this episode and sacrifice sleep, I will do it.
Yeah,
like. If they get Bryan Cranston for Commissioner Gordon, I am all in.
Yeah,
I'm all in, hands down.
That'd be fantastic.
Even if they got freaking Jeff Leb as the scriptwriter, I'm still in for at least 5 episodes.
I'll be in for at least the pilot. Jeff Leb scripted it. I don't know if I can even do that. I would have to like wait and hear the reviews. Like, is it terrible?
How about if it was Damon Lindelof?
I would watch it. As much as I rip on Lindelof, he can write a good TV show. I would just like bow out after like this first or second season. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I know where this is going. Nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can write a solid season of television. That man can.
Yeah.
After that, all bets are off.
He can write a compelling pilot.
He pretty much is like he's like the Act 1 and Act 2 writer. Once it gets to Act 3, he's just like, yeah.
Let's just hand the reins over to Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, basically. Even Brian K. Vaughan couldn't save it. That he
wasn't a primary writer though.
Yeah,
he was just kind of like making these secondary.
He was just like, I'm just gonna write this episode, make it really awesome.
Yeah, like the bits that I read that he had written were like really good.
Yeah, I can't remember which episode specifically. It's on Wikipedia. Like, they have who writes.
Yeah, he was in a few episodes, but he was like responsible for certain storylines as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Because those were some of my favorite parts of the series.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And
Fantastic
yeah,
writer.
they ended up petering out to like nothing.
Hey, they got a guacamole grinder out of it. It's a consolation prize for an actual conclusion.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to someone I'm very excited about that's going to be making a guest appearance on TV. Gina Carano.
Oh yeah.
She's going to guest star as a killer robot on the next Almost Human. So I've never seen Almost Human. I know it stars Carl Urban, who people really like.
Oh, it's Carl Urban and
Michael Ealy.
Yeah, Michael Ealy. He's like this black dude with green eyes. I've seen him a couple.
Oh,
other things.
that guy. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like he in Michael Ealy, right? This is
wasn't he in Burn Notice that
no
that firefighter show with Dennis Leary?
Oh, he might have been Rescue Me.
Yeah, Rescue Me.
He might have been.
I can't remember that was him.
He's been in like those typical like not Tyler Perry, but they're geared to like young black women like love movies for black women.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Or he was.
He was in Barbershop. I think.
Yeah, no, he was in Barbershop.
Yeah,
and he was married. I think he was married or dating Halle Berry for a good while.
Till we found out she crazy.
But he's a good-looking dude, but he plays like an AI on that show.
Yeah.
Pretty convincingly. So it shows how robotic his acting is. And Carl Urban is like the... who could I compare him to? But he's like... He seems like the type of dude that's like against having robots on the force.
Oh, he's the Will Smith and iRobot.
Yeah.
I hate you, robots!
I don't think he's like the I hate you type, but he's like the cynical type. So he's just like throwing quips and making fun of him any chance he can. Like, oh, you're a robot. You don't understand. And so like the robot's like trying to understand. This is like this kind of thing. It's like, by like the third, fourth season, robot's going to have like a personality of his own. Yeah. It's not going to be like Bones where you're going to have like the chick scientist, whatever she is, just be like this robotic personality for like 9 fucking seasons.
She's not even a robot.
She's not even a robot.
The first thing was Daniel
heart is
Sinjata.
Valves and vessels with blood flowing through them.
End of cue card. I mean, I wasn't supposed to say that part. But yeah, I was saying the person that was from Rescue Me is Daniel Sinjata. I guess they kind of resemble, kind of, not really, but
do they?
Sure. For the sake of this argument, yes.
I don't believe you.
They look identical. But anyway, I think it's funny. Because as bummed as I was that Gina Carano wasn't going to play Wonder Woman, people were like, well, is she actually a good actress? And it's just like, well, they did dub her voice over in Haywire, so probably not.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's going to play a robot, I guess, is kind of fitting. Because she can do all the badass action scenes, and then it's like if she has a robotic performance, perfect.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be like a killer robot or something like that in the show, right?
The only kind there are.
Maybe she won't even have any lines. She's just like this mute robot.
She's
just going around cracking necks.
That'd be awesome.
And putting people in arm bars until they die.
She's going to say, if you were in Strike Force, you'd already be KO'd.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I'm excited. I'm actually going to watch, probably not live, but when it comes on Netflix or something.
I'll put it in my queue.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I hope she gets more roles. I really want to see her in more movies and more TV shows because she kicks a lot of ass. Mm. So, speaking of kicking ass, I guess this has nothing to do with kicking ass. But our buddy Rich from My Take Radio had posted an article about from GameIndustries.biz. It's about booth babes. And, people would think like, obviously, if you have a booth at a convention, you have booth babes, you're going to draw in more traffic.
Yeah.
Well, according to studies, that's not actually the case.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, they, I guess, I don't know if it said so much that they drive away traffic, but they don't really bring in, like, if you actually have, it was kind of a skewed thing, because it's like, they didn't really have, like, a middle ground where they have, okay, like, this is, like, a hot girl, but she also is knowledgeable about the product.
Right.
They just had, here's the hot girl that's hired there to be there, but she doesn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Versus someone who actually knows how to do sales and is there and is knowledgeable.
Yeah.
It's like, well, obviously that guy's going to win out because he can actually tell you what you want to know. It's like, they may draw you in, but if they can't tell you anything, especially there's one at like I forgot what it's called, but it's at like a technology convention. It's like, okay, you're there ultimately for the technology. It's not like you're there. It's not like it's like a food fair where you're just there to eat food and you don't care how it was prepared or what's in it. You're just like, oh, hey, she's hot. Oh, hey, this burger is also hot. I'm having a good time. It's like where something that needs to be informative, like that makes sense. But it was just kind of interesting, and they're saying it's like an old school mentality of what they described as the steak and stripper type technique, which both of those sound quite delicious. But basically, yeah, they're saying like it's kind of something that's really outdated and it's not really necessary to do anymore. So I can stop saving my money for booth babes for next Wizard. So that's pretty much what I got from this.
To get a booth babe? Yeah,
to get a booth babe, but make sure she's knowledgeable. So we get the best of both worlds.
We could always get Ceremony.
Yeah. Well, she would have to also be in Austin and paid to be there.
We gotta hire her
with money that we don't have. We're gonna hire her with her $3.85.
We can give her room and board and just pay for her food.
Well, even then,
and she can just woo people with X-Men knowledge.
That's still more money than we have in the bank for such a venture.
Why?
We invested in penny stocks.
Yeah.
But see, with like Ceremony, like I wouldn't consider her a quote unquote booth babe because she actually knows her shit. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess like to me, like if anything, it's like obviously the happy medium. Well, I don't even think it would necessarily have to be a happy medium. Like it wouldn't have to be a booth babe, but just something that's interesting or unique to draw people in, and then obviously once they get in, then you can tell them about what you're doing.
Well, she's interesting and unique.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't put her in the booth babe category. I would just put her in the awesome category because she can hum the theme song to X-Men, the animated series, and in my book that makes me fucking
blew us
cool.
away. That was a pretty awesome experience.
It really was. Yeah, we're gonna have
someone that loves X-Men tasks as much as we do. Yeah. Oh my god, this is awesome.
Speaking of that, if anyone has a half-price bookstore and you're also fiending for X-Men the animated series, check them out because I got the entire series.
Yeah,
each DVD $11.99. So shout out to Half Price Bookstore for doing what Netflix no longer does. But and sooner or later we're gonna have Ceremony on the podcast, so you guys know who we're actually talking about.
But we have an interview of her on YouTube, so always feel free to check that out. It's Saramoni.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do it.
It's 2 names, Saramoni.
Yeah, Sarah Connor. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I just thought I'd drop that knowledge about booth babes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, hey, don't let that stop you, companies that have money to hire booth babes.
I know, it was like paying attention the whole time. It still seems like a little bit vague.
Yeah.
As far as like the results. And I'm just like, so is it, I mean, I'm asking you,
well, is it
necessarily a bad thing or a good thing to have booth babes?
They were saying it's like kind of a waste. And it may be even leaning towards being a bad thing. Like, it's like they actually had like empirical evidence. Like, they're like, this is like the percentage more that we got with having like salespeople versus, or people that have experience in sales. I forgot how they described it. Versus just having someone who's like eye candy. Because they said like, the idea is like they're supposed to be like attractive and also like friendly and bring people in, but they also can be alienating, especially if you actually have like, they said specifically for like females that might be interested. Where it's just like, all right, well here's this bimbo. Like, what are you gonna tell me?
Right.
They also said what was interesting is a lot of people that actually work in marketing are female, but they kind of get overridden with these decisions, so they just have to like kind of suck it up and be like, all right, we know we could probably do better than having a booth babe, but we don't really have a say.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was kind of what was I looking for? I don't know. It didn't really give like the booth babes like any claim, but I would like to see. I don't know. I would like to see something where it's. I don't know, just like more research. But it was interesting. That's why I brought it up. Just so I encourage everybody to check it out. It will be on the website and just kind of form your own opinions. And hire a booth babe.
Yeah. No, I kind of feel like I need to learn more now. Simply because like what kind of conventions were taken into account?
Yeah.
Was it strictly like informational stuff like CES or something? Like at a place like CES, I could understand booth babes not working.
Yeah.
Because it's all technology gear. So it's like when people come into the booth, they're going to want to know like the whole resolutions and the differences between I and P.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or, this new router, what does it do? What kind of, connection does it have?
Yeah, I was going to say they're not going to want the Jessica Simpson where it's like, I don't know what 1080IP is, or 1080i is, but I want it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I want it.
It's like, it's only going to be endearing to a very small minority that's going.
But if it's something like where you're selling, like, I don't know, energy drinks and stuff like that, when it's that kind of convention, how do you take those into account? Do you really need salespeople to, like, throw a T-shirt or a soda at,
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think that makes the big difference. Because, if you're like at a Budweiser booth, like,
you're going to have booth babes. You're going to be like, hey, this is why, even though people talk about Budweiser being piss water because it only has, 80% water and actual 2% alcohol in every bottle. Here's why, blah, 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 blah,
but
blah,
little
blah, blah.
they know, their barley is slow roasted. And actually, it takes about 2 days to process this beer, and it's immaculate.
Exactly,
I'm actually drunk right now. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I sound good, don't I, guys? And they're just like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or do you want, like, a booth baby like, hey, try some Bud Light? And then you're going to be like, well, I don't want to, but I'll take the beer.
Yeah, but you're pretty, so I'm going to drink the beer.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey... when you have somebody talking about, like, their new, like, top-of-the-line wireless router, this thing goes out to your neighbor's front yard, blah, blah, blah.
They could steal it easier.
Talking about all this stuff, or you're going to have a booth babe to where it's just like, yeah, this is a box. It's a box. I know my boyfriend wants one. They gave one to me for free. It's like, well, I don't know. All I know is that it works, and I have one in my house, and it works pretty good. I can be on the shitter, or I can be in my son's room, and I get wireless internet. That's all I care about.
Yeah, so that brings up a good point, because I wish they would have said, like, just how knowledgeable or not knowledgeable the booth babes were.
Yeah.
At least said, they definitely the type of convention, I think, makes a huge difference.
I've also read articles, on IGN when I used to go there, where they had, like...
favorite.
Stuff about, like, the booth babe stuff, or Destructoid, or whatnot, and other articles, like, just describing... Like, from the booth babes perspective, where, like, some aren't actually booth babes, but they're attractive females.
Yeah.
And they're already doing the thing anyways, like the, manning the booth, or womaning the booth. I don't know how you want to say it. But they're like, hey, wear this getup, and you'll be the booth babe.
Yeah.
They're like, well... But then I'm already there talking about the stuff, so I don't need to be a booth babe because I'm going to be there anyways.
Shut up and put on the tube top.
I can wear my gray company polo and khakis. And they're like, no, just be a booth babe, and you can still talk about that stuff. So you're like a double whammy.
Yeah.
And it's like in some cases, it's like, well, it's demeaning because then when I'm actually talking about my stuff, people just like, they're either taken aback and they're scared, or they're like surprised that, oh, hey, this hot chick knows what she's talking about. And it's like, yeah, either way, that's kind of demeaning.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like for one, people can conflate the two of like, where like one's a booth babe and one's this someone who's an attractive woman that actually is informed. And then it's like almost, it's really like unfortunate. Like even if they're not put in like the booth babe role, if they're just attractive, then sometimes they're not taken seriously. They're like, well, she's hot, so she can't also be smart. Like, this is America.
Yeah, and that's the other thing was like, and this is just from my perspective, but like, even if I did look good, I'm not going to sit there and wear like fucking tight pants, skinny jeans and get a Euro haircut if my hair would allow it. Like the weird Euro cowlick crap that they do.
I was thinking of the food.
Yeah.
On your head.
Like the Euro haircut and like wearing like, I don't know, whatever chicks like out of booth dudes. I don't know.
Spandex.
Like the majority of the time,
spandex.
just all like fucking a pair of Spanx and no shirt.
Just
and cufflinks.
Just dress up 300 style.
Yeah. Just like, well, I'm sure they would go gaga over that, but I'm sitting there starting to talk about
people just oiling you down every hour.
Well, see, the wireless router, what it does, like, can you just put the shield down and hold me instead? Like, well, I don't see how that helps with me trying to sell you a router. It's like, just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, you handsome man, and hold me. Yeah. Hold me while my girlfriend takes a picture.
And show me what happened when few stood against many.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, and then you just go, Sparta!
Yeah. So I'm not a piece of man meat, all right? I'm very knowledgeable. I have several Cisco certifications. Yeah. I appreciate this.
A+ certified, Network Plus certified. I have it all, okay? I spent over $10,000, and I owe about 8 of that in student loans.
Yeah, so if you would please buy the fucking router, I can pay the shit off.
Yeah. Each one gets me like $200 towards that, so please, just please. And a ride back home.
They didn't cast me for the 300 sequel, now I gotta do this. All right.
Yeah.
Let's buy a router.
You're happy. It's routered works while you're on the shitter.
I was the first Spartan to die in the movie. It sucked. Spent 4 months training to get this awesome physique, and I get killed by a damn immortal.
All because I got a freaking DWI.
Yeah. My buddy here, second one to die in the passenger seat.
Yeah, also DWI.
We call that the Michelle Rodriguez effect.
Yeah, but like you don't have this like, well, even if it was a plethora, but you don't have like these booth babe dudes where like they know their stuff, or even if they don't know their stuff, like in the same thing. Like you're always, more times than not, you're gonna have dudes in like company polos and slacks or khakis, whatever. Yeah. And like you don't see like very many women, and the ones that you do, they're the booth babes.
Yeah.
Whether they work for the company or contracted to be a babe, you know, either way, it's just kind of like, it's kind of unfair the way you're looking at it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get a booth dude for our next booth.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to have him just sit there and just scowl at people.
Just some muscle brawn, you know, just some clunk head.
I want him to be like a bro. So yeah, bro, you ever heard that straight out of Austin, man? I don't listen to it myself, but like my friends say,
just like
cool.
a really sweet bro. He's like cool. He's like the kind of bro that's like he'll like muscle clunk on you, but then if you're having trouble at the gym, he'll be like, bro, you're doing it all wrong, bro. Just come with me and my bros, bro, and we'll show you how to bro out on this, okay? All right, bro.
Bro, you gotta flex your pecs when you push up, man. That's how you get a good workout for your pectoral region.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not as big as you, bros. It's like, it's cool, bro. No judge, bro. No judge.
We all got to start somewhere, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't come out the womb looking like this. Yeah, Took a lot of energy drinks.
I waited till I was 5 before I started broing out with my bros, okay, bro? But we all got to start somewhere, okay, bro? That's why we're here to help you, bro. Like, we're going to have, like, a sweet dude like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just going to bro out with everybody.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be like that Batman that was chucking the bear.
Yeah, but a bro.
Yeah. He's gonna be in that same costume but with a bro hat on. Yeah. The frayed bill.
Yeah, bro. No, he doesn't drink. He wouldn't drink beer because that's useless carbs.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't bro out like that.
Well, yeah, but he runs wind sprints for about an hour to burn all those carbs.
He takes simulated chocolate protein shakes made from soy whey.
That would definitely be like an Austin bro.
Right? Wouldn't it?
A broster.
With the curly mustache. Oh! And like a throwback 1988 Ocean Pacific freaking muscle tee.
We just make like the perfect fusion to bro and hipster.
And like stonewash hot pants. Like those white with the weird like grayish black.
You just lost me with the stonewash.
Or acid wash.
I can't get jiggy with that shit.
You never seen stonewash jeans?
Oh, I've seen them.
Okay, fine. Cut off button flies.
I'm there, bro.
While he's tossing button hooks at everyone.
You don't toss a button hook, sir. You do the button hook.
That's true. Yeah.
Get it right, bro. All right, anyway.
My bro apologies.
Moving on. So, I'd seen this article on your favorite website, IGN, about Scarlett Johansson talking about Avengers Age of Ultron. And when I saw the quote, because obviously IGN is IGN, and she was like, they quoted her as describing the next Avengers film as dark and dry. It's like, okay, dark sounds good, but dry, like, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So, you know, moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. So, it took me aback a little bit. But, basically, the way she described it actually makes it sound really good. She says, Josh Whedon, again, is back. Wrote the script and is directing, Johansson said. I think the script is dark and it's dry. It's got this amazing one-liner, glass-cutting sense of humor. Obviously, the script is very cerebral. Doesn't lose that exciting comic book aspect that people enjoyed in the first film, but it's smart. And it feels like the next installment... It feels like the next installment. It doesn't feel like a rehashing. It feels like these characters are moving forward, plot lines are moving forward. It's deep, and I think that's why people really respond to the Marvel Universe, because the films are fun, exciting, and have all the flashy stuff, but there's gravity to them. People can expect gravity this time around.
Yeah, I like hearing that from her, actually.
Yeah, so I read that. I'm like, all right, I was already pretty hype, but now I'm like even more hype.
Yeah, but when you have an actor or actress come out and they're like that confident, and that's like a lot of like the way she's describing what the script is like is very reminiscent of like the minute every time she said something like that, I was just like, astonishing X-Men, astonishing X-Men, because like that's all it did. It didn't like lay in one spot. It was constantly moving forward and developing these characters. Like. And, like, honestly, you really can't make... Like, everybody loves Wolverine, but, like, Wolverine was interesting, and he was, like, a secondary, if not tertiary character during that entire series. He was never at the forefront. At the most, it was usually Kitty, Scott, or Emma, that were at the forefront of that series. And then you had, like, Colossus kind of back up, and he was, like, at the forefront towards the end of it. Him and Kitty, and then you had Beast. I forget what his underlying plotline was, and then Wolverine.
I think this was a mutation.
Yeah. His new mutation, and then you kind of just had Wolverine there,
just
to kind of create the
he was almost comic relief, like in a lot of parts, where he's like,
He really
I'm the best
was.
at what I do, and what I do is so pretty.
Yeah.
You know? And like took Wolverine to a place you normally don't see him. Like usually it's like, oh, I'm the badass. Like it's like the complete polar opposite of the way the X-Men movies use Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like he's badass sometimes, but also sometimes you see him vulnerable. Sometimes he's comedy. You know, it's just like he's a full fleshed out character when Whedon writes him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It's like, this is how you use Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like Whedon really knows how to balance his characters. And, if you've been following Whedon's work since, like, Buffy, that's evident. That's no-brainer. That's like me talking to the brick wall and telling it that it's hard to break,
Walls
so it's just,
don't hit back.
Yeah, it's just something that it's obvious. But, just to hear that from her, it's like, it makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Coming in, it's like, okay, so it's just not... Because, it's like, the more I watch The Avengers, and I've seen it like 12 times at this point, it's just like, I like it less and less. And the CGI becomes more obvious, and it's just like, oh, they could have done this better, they could have done this better. So I'm really hoping that they really move, like, the character plots forward, and just, I guess from what she's saying, I'm pretty confident in them. Just like the cerebral part is what has me excited.
Oh yeah.
Like when they say more cerebral, I'm like, yes, that's what I like to hear. I like my comic book movies to be taken seriously and not just be like blockbuster fun movies.
Yeah.
Let's make people think. Let's put some drama in there. Let's add some like Inception-esque kind of stuff to where it's like it's making you think and confusing the fuck out of you. I want to hear people angry, like, well, I don't understand the layers on the layers, and where were they in the snow place? I don't get that. They were in a building, and all of a sudden there's snow. What is that? That's not a movie.
It's the middle of summer. How is this happening? Where's the snow coming from?
It was raining, and there's trains in the middle of the street.
Why is the van falling so slow? I thought there was gravity.
Why do they keep cutting back to the mountains? Why is JGL floating in a hallway?
I thought JGL was an alien. When did he become a serious
on?
actor?
I swear, man. Just going back to Inception, that movie made sense. I was a little confused, but after watching it the second time, I was like, okay, it cleared some stuff up. But like people that were just like had no idea from the second the movie started, like had no idea what was happening. It's like, dude, the first half of the movie explains what's going on, what you're getting into.
They literally have the Matrix sequence where Cobb is walking Ellen Page's character through there and like, this is how it works.
Yeah. Like, quit messing with stuff. She's like, why? It's like, because then you'll alter the dream.
You're going to get people really, really fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. And then they start, like, killing her.
You see the woman in the red dress? This one's going to stab you.
Watch out. That is my ex-wife.
Yeah.
She has been dead for a long time. She's still here.
But she's still really, really pissed off.
Yeah. Don't fuck with her.
Yeah.
And what does she do? She fucked with her.
Yeah. She'll stab you. She stabbed Batman, all right?
Yeah.
That should be a testament to how much you need to
She'll
stay
stab
back.
the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, and take his Quaaludes.
I knew you were
I take those. I'm not going to die sober. But yeah, I think it's funny because, Inception had the Matrix effect. Even though the Matrix was, like, so much less complicated. I remember so many people were like, I don't get it. How are they in the computer?
Yeah, it's like, how stupid did people have to be to understand this?
I just felt like the Zoolander part was like, are you serious? I just got through explaining that. Oh, but why male models?
Yeah. It's like I'm David Duchovny, like, in this whole society.
Yeah, with immaculate hands.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, sir, I know about that. I'm a hand model recruiter.
Oh,
Says so on my card.
Am I like the George Costanza? You ever seen that episode of Seinfeld where, like, you have immaculate hands or you have beautiful hands, and so he tries out being a hand model for, like, wristwatches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he's, like, putting gloves on his hands, and, like, somewhere towards the end, like, it was an episode where I think Jerry's wearing, like, that pirate shirt. I don't know if you ever saw that episode.
I think I have. Sounds familiar.
And it was Kramer's girlfriend that was all... Because he went on the Jay Leno show. He was like, what's up with this shirt? It was, like, actually Jay Leno. He was like, what's up with this shirt? Like, I don't know. I'm doing this as a favor for a friend. I look like a freaking pirate. He's all pissed off. And she would always talk really low. So when he agreed to wear the pirate shirt, he didn't know what she was saying. And she got all excited. And Kramer's like, oh, you're great. He's like, well, what did I just agree to? He's like, you're going to wear this pirate shirt for her. He's like, I don't want to wear the pirate shirt in the Jay Leno show, you know? So then, like, he's like, it's a stupid shirt, Jay. Like, I'd appreciate it if we don't even talk about it. And then you just hear, you bastard! And Jay's like, hey, did anybody hear that? And Jerry's like, no, that I heard. As a joke to her always speaking quietly. And then, like, they're in the dressing room arguing with each other, and she's, like, yelling at Jerry, and, like, she's trying to, like, she grabs an iron and tries to burn him with it, and then George walks in, and, like, he was explaining, like, how he got this huge gig for hand modeling. He was going to make millions of dollars. It's like, I'm going to be a millionaire, Jerry! I'm going to be somebody! And she, like, charges at Jerry, and George happens to turn around.
Yeah.
He grabs the iron and starts burning him, and, you know, like, freeze frames, and, like, doom, 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 doom. And you just hear him go, ah! Like, that's the end of the episode. I was like, man, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, poor George.
Yeah.
He was my favorite character. He was great. But yeah. But moving on to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because everybody loves that.
Oh, wonderful.
But here's a real reason to love that, because Jamie Alexander will be guest starring as Lady Sif.
Yay.
So you can sift through all the crappy episodes and get to the good ones. So I guess she'll be in the 15th episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s first season.
The first 15?
Well, she'll be in the 15th of the first
okay.
season.
I didn't
So they said
understand
her guest appearance will make the first time a non-S.H.I.E.L.D. agent character is introduced into the show. So,
I wonder what her role will be.
I don't know, but I guess they're dealing with someone who's clairvoyant. So you're going to find out who the clairvoyant is, and it's going to be very, very cool.
Clairvoyant, huh?
Yeah.
What is a clairvoyant?
Like, remember Minority Report? The people, like the precogs.
Oh, okay.
Like they could, like it's like pretty much you can predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that actually has anything to do with her at all.
Yeah.
But either way, she's going to be in it. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know. It's kind of the only thing that sucks though is because I've seen the one where Samuel L. Jackson's actually in it.
Yeah.
But he's in like at the tail end.
Oh,
and
really?
Literally, like is that like their plane like crashes or whatever, and he's just scolding Agent Coulson about it. And like you can tell, like he literally just like came off his lunch break, recorded that scene, and just left.
Yeah, which was other movie.
Yeah, basically doing Snakes on a Plane too.
Yeah,
using that same plane. But I don't know. It was still fun to see him though, because it's like, oh, it's Samuel L. Jackson phoned it in. You know?
Yeah, but it's still Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly. So it's like it's kind of cool. So on one hand, it's like, oh yes, you get to see these actors. On the other hand, it feels kind of gimmicky because it's like. But then the whole show to me feels like that, where it's just like, oh, here's their tie-in to the Marvel movie. Here's a character you'd know and love from the movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's
We
cool.
didn't get enough love.
Yeah. I guess I feel like if the show was stronger, these appearances would be that much better. We're like, oh my god, how are they going to incorporate this character?
Right.
Instead of like, they're just going to, you know, smile and wink at the camera and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, remember me from Thor 2, The Dark World? Ding! You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. But either way, I'd like to see the episode because she's really awesome. And like you had mentioned before, like I felt like she didn't get enough play.
She really didn't. And the way they shot the trailer, just beating a dead horse, even more dead. She had a really cool sequence, and then like they have it to where like she and the other guys get saved by Thor, and it's just like, really, these supposed to be like Asgard's finest,
yeah,
and they're always like getting bailed out.
Yeah,
like if Thor wasn't there, then we're to assume that they were going to die, probably.
To be fair, Asgard as a society, they seem like they can't handle anything with Thor. Like if Thor, like now that Thor's on Earth, they're pretty much fucked. Like anyone that wants to go invade them, it's open season because it's like their best warriors just get get destroyed. And the whole thing that I loved with the Frost Giants have guns. They have projectiles.
Yeah, that
was like from thousands of years ago, and the Norse gods still, just Asgardians still only have like swords and shields. It's like, you guys didn't bother to upgrade your weaponry in the past 1,000 years. Like, you've been to Earth, you've seen the technology, you can replicate it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they have the destroyer. You couldn't have made that into like a type of gun or something. You know, like the blast.
Like they did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they did on Earth once again.
They reverse engineered your mech warrior into a fucking gun a quarter of its size, an eighth of its size.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone needs to go to their R&D department. And that's the thing, too, because they have a whole room full of weapons.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we could use these, but let's just use these swords.
We're not going to.
Yeah.
And in fact, we're going to give one of these strongest weapons to the Collector at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I just love when they give it to him. It's just like, you don't think this is a bad idea? Like, I understand wanting to separate them all, but it's still like, you trust this guy? Like, just look at him for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't trust that guy.
What makes the Collector like this, like, be-all, end-all, do not fuck with on the do not fuck with list, you know? It's like, Well, as far as we know, he's just this dude
Uh,
that likes to collect rare things on his ship.
Yeah.
What about the ship or him makes him unfuckwithable?
Yeah.
You know?
It's just the whole thing. It's just like it's nothing about the introduction of that character makes him look like he would be a saint of any kind, and that would be the only person you would want to give this incredibly dangerous weapon to.
Yeah.
To me, the most logical thing, like unless like it was too powerful or not powerful enough, would be to put it in the sun. You know, Enchron's crystal style with a phoenix. Like you can't have this. I'm putting it in the sun where no one can touch it.
Macron crystal.
Huh?
The Macron.
I thought it was the Mcron crystal.
Well, that's how they said it in X-Men, but I later found out it's Macron.
Well, may the force be with you. X-Men the Animated Series is the only canon that I go by, so Mcron crystal, straight into the sun.
Mcron crystal it is, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Don't you forget it, Bob. Because Climate's your department.
Unmasking is mine.
Is mine. So another Avengers news. Well, Age of Ultron, get to seeing how his name gets top billing, is obviously the main villain, but they've also casted another villain, Baron von Strucker.
Baron von Strucker.
And I like this guy already because this guy has a monocle. So therefore, he is officially the greatest villain.
Yeah, I think he's a Captain America villain.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But he's going to be played by a guy whose name I can't pronounce. Thomas Christusman.
Ah.
Yeah, so apparently he plays Abraham Van Helsing on NBC, on the NBC series Dracula. So, I'm not familiar with that either. Don't know what this guy is about. But I like who he's playing. He's got a monocle. And I still think it's funny, like, okay, so this is, like, so far in advance. You mentioned, like, he's a Captain America villain. They showed this. They still haven't showed GSP's character as the Leaper.
Yeah, Batroc the Leaper.
Yeah,
in
like,
the Captain America movie.
But that movie's coming out in, what, 4 months?
Yeah.
You still have not even seen a glimpse.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. Maybe he looks that bad.
The Brothers, I am coming for you.
Captain America, you cannot stop my rhythm.
Yeah, you cannot stop my rhythm.
I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to that.
And kids.
I will boom, hit you in the head. You cannot mess with my French. I wonder if he's actually just going to speak French in the movie, if he speaks at all.
Yeah, I think he is. He's like French-Canadian.
Yeah. But I mean...
Batroc, not just GSP.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But either way.
Boom, hit him in the head.
Excited for both. But yeah, so Baron von Strucker has a monocle.
Maybe it's just like a cameo or something.
I mean, I know he doesn't have a huge role, because, I mean, he has, like, fights that he's preparing for at the time.
Well, let's hope so.
Well, I mean, at the time he was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, now he isn't. Now he's semi-retired.
Yeah.
So.
Indefinitely.
Yeah, well, he might come back.
Well, that's what indefinitely means.
Oh. See, I always
it means for the foreseeable future.
See, I always thought indefinitely. Like,
it's very misleading
It
word.
really is, like, inflammable.
Yeah, inflammable. Then what's flammable?
Yeah.
Inflammable?
Yeah. So why would you have two words? One that seems like it'd be the opposite for the same exact thing.
Yeah.
What a country.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else. You're more familiar with Captain America than I am, so I don't know if you're excited for this particular villain.
I kind of am, because it just kind of like widens the implications. Why he's going to make a debut in the Avengers movie and not Captain America? Well, for all we know, he could be at the end credits.
Yeah.
But
just polishing his monocle and puts it on all sinisterly.
Well, yeah, considering the fact that they just casted him, I doubt it, but they could always squeeze it in. They could always squeeze in like a little end credit moment, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just kind of more curious why they're putting him in the Avengers and not in a Captain America movie.
That is a very good point about the end credits, because the Cap movie is the lead-in to Avengers.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if that was if he was in the end credits, to tie the two together.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Sounds good. I don't know, I'm excited. Especially after the Scarlett Johansson thing. Like, I'm that much more excited for Avengers 2.
Yeah.
So I gotta wait another damn year. But that's right. Cap will keep us company till then. So, another news. This is actually kind of old news, but we didn't get to talk about it on the last podcast. And when we talked about the initial story, you kind of had some choice words, so we'll talk about it now. But
what is it?
It's about Brian being killed on Family Guy.
Okay, before we get into that, I have another bit of Marvel news, because maybe you didn't catch it and I just remembered. But not only is Haley Atwell, who was played Agent Peggy Carter in the Captain America movie, she's getting her own show now.
Oh, yeah.
That's been confirmed. And then on the Mary Sue, they confirm that the writers that they're hiring are also going to be female writers.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And I don't know who they are yet, or if even they announced the names, but that's pretty big news considering they're putting 2 female lead writers on a female-fronted show.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited because I'm waiting for like the feminism to like gush into this show. Well, not feminism, but just like it's hopefully, you know, if ABC and Marvel don't get in the way, it's going to be a show ran primarily by women in a show for women, you know, to where it's just like, okay, let's see how women write women in television.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So to me, I think this is like a big. I mean, I'm sure it's been done before, but I, you know, in my generation, in a show where I'm growing up in my 30s and watching this TV show, like I want to see what it's all about, you know?
Yeah.
To where we're like, hey, you know, there was this one great TV show, and it was like written by women for women, and now with a possible daughter on the way, you know, I want there to be like role model stuff like that. For, you know, if and when I have
I think
a child of my own.
Yeah, I think especially with like shows like Walking Dead, where it's just like a lot of their female characters are just so poorly written.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a huge problem. You know, I think we were talking with Chris Rachel a while back, but she was talking about Sleepy Hollow, to where like it not only had minority-fronted characters, but... you know, it's like 3 minority characters.
Yeah, I think it like had 3 black characters.
Yeah, and they were all cops.
Yeah, and it was like because I guess like it's one thing. It's like 3 black characters, okay, whatever. But they actually were like, because it's kind of a tangent. But they were actually just like, okay, like the fact that they're black had nothing to do with their character. Instead of like, hey, I'm the angry black guy, I gotta do black stuff, blah 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 blah. But like, you know, it's kind of like with Last of Us, where like they had like a father and son duo, and it's just like, wow. They're not stereotypes at all.
Yeah.
They're just very well written characters, you know?
Yeah,
it's kind of like the same thing where it's like, you know, the people from Sleepy Hollow, and presumably the way Agent Peggy Carter's going to be, where it's just like, okay, it doesn't have to be like feminism in your face all day, but it's like, oh wow, an actual well-rounded female character in like in a comic book based TV show. Yeah,
but my point with Sleepy Hollow was like not only are there like black primary characters, but one of them happens to be a female cop who doesn't play up, like you said, to the typical stereotypes that you see with primarily black and secondary, like, minority characters in general. You know, so it's just like, oh, wow, she's black, but it doesn't matter that she's black. That's beautiful.
It's like they don't have moments like at Sons of Anarchy with, what was she, the DA? And she takes her wig off. She's just like, time for me to go ghetto.
Yeah, time for me to go ghetto. And underneath that ugly wig... cornrows with this weird, like, really nappy-looking hair. Just like, really? Really? That was such a badly delivered line. Like, you could tell she didn't even want to deliver.
Yeah,
like, Kurt, what the fuck is wrong with you?
She looks like she died on the inside, you know? Because, like, like, nothing about that scene was written well. It's like, first of all, it didn't match her character. Nothing about what she did afterwards was quote-unquote ghetto. It's like
it was just aggressive.
Yeah, she was playing aggressive. She was playing hardball. And it just was like, I don't know, it just seemed really silly and really forced. Like, he's just like, this
she went
really
about
good.
as ghetto as Agent Stahl did. You know? It's like, they're just dirty. It's dirty politics. That's all it was. And she wasn't even doing anything illegal. She was just like, you know, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to make your life horrible. That was it. It wasn't like this bureaucratic stuff. We're just
she didn't, like, do a drive-by. That would have been...
time to go ghetto. We're like, you know how I shot bullet holes in your house last night? Prove it, by the way.
Yeah, right.
But you don't want that happening again. Now, what I want you to do is turn over Jack's teller.
Yeah,
you know, it was nothing like that. It was just like, I'm going to give you 25 to life, probably the death sentence for the murder of that nurse, and your hand in that nurse's death. And while I'm at it, I'm still going to get your husband. Now, we could save you the trouble by just giving me your husband and let it be done, and we'll go ahead and drop the charges. Like, I'm not going to do that. Well, then fuck you, bitch. See you rotting in hell.
It's like, by their standards, like, Jack Bauer gets more ghetto, like, tell me where the bomb is, I will murder your family!
I know.
You know?
I was like, I don't think at all, at any point, was there anything really ghetto.
There wasn't. It was a terrible line. To me, the thing that was the worst about the line...
I think the Bizlats were probably the most ghetto thing. They're fucking Mexican.
Led
by a Cuban drug gang leader, fucking Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, the worst part about it was, like, it didn't fit her character.
No,
it would have been one thing if her character was like, oh, I'm quote-unquote ghetto, but I'm trying not to let that show. And then when she takes the wig off, she's like, all right, I've been trying to do this, you know, a different way.
What they could have had her said instead was like, she takes the wig off, she's like, time to play hardball.
Yeah.
Or like something cool like
Yeah.
time to play rough now or play by my rules.
Yeah.
Anything but to go ghetto.
Yeah.
To get like nobody says that.
Time
not even
to cram it up their mufflers.
yeah, not even fucking like, not even preteens say shit like that, you know? Like, I'm gonna go ghetto on this bitch. That's like when people say tight.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm gonna fucking, what was that word people used to use? I'm gonna squabble. We about to squabble with this nigga, man. Yeah. I got mad squabbles. There was kids in junior high that used to say shit like that. Like, mad squabbles. Like, who fucking... like, I would think a Harlem Globetrotter would have, like, mad squabbles with, like, the weird ways they move and stuff. But, like, you're just throwing haymakers. That's not mad squabbles.
It reminds me of Boys in the Hood. Seeing it like years later where the slang has changed.
Yeah.
And there's a scene with Ice Cube, and I think like his mom's yelling at him or something, and he's just like, "No, man, we just cooling."
Yeah,
you know?
just cooling.
If someone used that like today, it's like, yeah, me and Agamemnon are just cooling on this podcast. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who says that? 1991 called, you know, they want their slang back.
They want their Ice Cube back.
yeah. They want the Ice Cube that would come and murder you, not the one that wants to take you on family vacations.
Yeah. They want vintage Ice Cube back.
Yeah, right. He's just lukewarm water now.
Ridiculous.
But yeah.
Anyways, back to Brian. I want to know, back to Brian being dead.
Okay, so basically the whole thing was just like Seth MacFarlane reacting to the rage that people showed. Because apparently people were really pissed off. Like, they weren't sad. They were just, like, angry. And, like, you know, he was obviously trying to get a reaction, but he did. That wasn't the reaction that he was expecting. He said it surprised them all. So they were all very surprised in a good way. All the people still cared enough about the character to be that angry. We thought we'd create a little bit of a stir, but the rage was something we didn't count on. So it was kind of that. So where is it now? Okay, never mind. That's something else. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting because it was just like, yeah, people really did react. And for me, it was just kind of amusing. I mean, I guess maybe it would have had more of an effect on me if I still watched Family Guy like I used to.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just like, you know he's coming back.
Yeah.
Like, he's too important of a character. Like, I know, like, not to say that Seth MacFarlane didn't have balls to do something different, despite the fact that all the shows are exactly the same.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, you know that they're not going to kill, like, such an important character. So for people to have, like, that emotional response, I would say kudos to Seth MacFarlane for being able to have people that invested in that character, you know, even though it was just kind of a cheap ploy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, thanks for the ratings, suckers. He's back.
Yeah, because, like, congratulations, you got everybody talking about Family Guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the majority of people in my freaking friends list bitching. Well, not the majority. Like, it was like 6 or 7 people bitching. Oh, they killed Brian. That was my favorite character.
They're all doing
shut up, you fucking vagina.
They're all doing the Darth Vader. No.
I gotta go put my tampon on because it's the time of the month. I'm so angry right now.
So I don't know.
Shut up, people. Get over it.
I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny and interesting where he's just like... Because I almost want to say... I don't remember if it's in this article, but I remember reading something where I guess he was like even getting like death threats. Like, you bring Brian back, or you're going to be as dead as Brian is.
I wonder if people ever got that mad when James was killed off in Good Times.
Probably.
They're like, my name is Florida. Like that show where like the husband got killed.
Yeah. I don't know, people are so fanatical, because to me it's like one thing to rage, one thing to get angry or sad, or even if you're like bummed out the whole day.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually, or even like amongst, like in the comfort of your own home amongst friends, be like, oh man, I will kill that motherfucker. But to actually take the time to actually directly threaten them, to send them...
write a Charles Manson-ish, like, note.
Yeah, to send them correspondence, you know, snail mail or electronic, to actually threaten them. Like, that takes a certain sad level of individual...
That's a psychopath.
Yeah.
You're a psychopath if you've ever done anything like that in your life. You need to find somebody and get evaluated, like, immediately.
You need some Quaaludes, bro.
Yeah, lots of Quaaludes. You know, take like 20 Quaaludes and call me in the afterlife. Call me in the afterlife, because that's where you belong.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's just sad, like, to just do a little bit of a tangent. Like, when people, like, giving death threats to Ben Affleck, it's like, really? I wasn't happy about the choice
I wrote an angry blog.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want
hoping that he would read it and, like, just laugh or something.
But it's
that
just
didn't
like,
happen. So.
Yeah, it's just like as much as I'm not happy about it, it's like I don't want any ill will to befall Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he's got kids and he's got a beautiful wife, and you want these people to live a good life.
It's like you want him to die simply because he's playing a character of yours and you
Yeah.
don't approve of
Right.
the casting. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I do too, but I keep that to myself.
Yeah, exactly. I don't let him know about that.
Yeah,
keep
I don't
that
go
tucked
around
deep
making
inside.
death threats on Facebook where my comments can be tracked by the government, and I'll put on a list of potential people that are looking to kill Ben Affleck, and I'm pretty sure it's a really long list.
Dude, they're gonna send Matt Damon after you.
I know,
and I'm not talking Goodwill Hunting Matt Damon.
Oh God,
I'm talking Born Identity
No!
Matt Damon.
Oh God,
He's gonna hit you in the throat with a book
God.
and strangle you with a towel.
Oh God,
It's like no one does that to my Benny.
Yeah.
He starts killing people.
he's my Robin. I'm Batman. That son of a bitch took my role. What can you do to help me get him back?
It would be even funnier if the death threats were actually coming from Matt Damon. Just
I
to fuck
know.
with him.
Yeah, fucking with him.
He's
like all laughing. He's like,
he's
why
just-
are you laughing? You
he
think
just-
this is funny? They're gonna fucking kill you. It could
He's
be me
like-
for all you know. It is me for all you. Yeah. He's like, get out of here, Matt. You fucking wicked funny. You know that? You're wicked hilarious.
I can actually see him doing that accent whenever he's like in private.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, like there's no one watching. Why are you doing that accent? This is the way I talk. I'm
Yeah.
from Boston, Chowder, JFK. This is what I do.
Yo, Jennifer, give me another Sam Adams, will ya? I'm watching the Pats game. Hurrah.
I need a Pawtucket Patriot.
Yeah.
Oh man, Ben Affleck. Do you know if you talk to that voice in Batman?
Yeah.
I would be elated. That'd be hilarious. They'd make this like this Boston Batman. Yeah, Gotham's in Boston. It doesn't make sense. You got a city within a city.
Yeah. I got freaking hockey pants.
Swear to me.
Swear to me, Joker. Swear to me, hurrah.
Oh, so that's what that feels like, alright.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited for Batman.
Where is she? Huh?
Huh? What's Rachel? Where is she?
Where is she? I'm gonna get my wife down here, all the Irish Catholics down here. We're gonna whoop your ass. Piñata style, like the Mexicans do. I'm not friends with them because they're brown. But we're gonna do them the same way because they got the right idea. You understand me?
We can still learn things from them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we can't learn things. Let's try me
Then
right.
I get down to Mark Wahlberg's house and he's gonna come over and beat your ass too, with his accent alone.
Oh my god, they need to make a movie. They just call it just Boston Dudes.
Boston
It's not even
Dudes.
gonna have a plot. It's just gonna be Mark Wahlberg just teaching Ben Affleck how to do a proper
Yeah.
Boston accent. Which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense since he's actually from Boston.
With Alec Baldwin.
Just throw DiCaprio doing a bad
And,
Boston
yeah.
accent.
Well, he does a pretty good one in Departed.
It was pretty good. I still think his
Alec
accent.
Baldwin's really good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I still think his best accent was actually in Django. I still think.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he doesn't get enough credit for that because it's honestly, I think it's really tough to do a Southern accent. Unless you're born here, we can do really good Southern accent. We even have a little bit of Southern twang to our voices, but I think honestly, Southern accent's really hard because then you have those like retards that are just like, "Hi, y'all, how's it going?"
I would say
it sounds really weird.
It's
but
easy to do. It's hard to do convincingly.
Yeah, it's hard to do convincingly.
But I will say this: when
Because-
I was in Charleston, South Carolina, like
Yeah.
my younger sister does like this really ridiculous Southern accent,
Uh-huh.
and the people that were there, we were at this Chinese food restaurant. There's this family that was eating. They sounded exactly like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, I was just like, oh my
Maybe
god.
they were from like South Carolina.
I was it was in South
They
Carolina.
sounded like Paula Dean. Hi, yo! That lady, that bitch is fake, man. I bet she didn't even sound like that. She probably has like this fucking. She's probably from Boston. She probably has like a Boston accent.
You give me the chowder.
Hey, yo! Give me the chowder.
But I can't even describe it. But I could not stop laughing every time like the mom was talking. I was like, that's exactly the fake accent
Wow.
my sister does.
They're out there, but yeah, they're not like the majority.
Yeah, it's like law of averages, but it's like to actually do like a really convincing like wow. Okay, well, my opinion differs from yours, but Rick from Walking Dead, like to me, he sounds like a real Southern person.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Well,
sound like-
not at first.
Yeah.
But it's gotten better.
He started season 1, top of the morning to ya.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Georgians, but
It's tea time.
yeah, definitely not a Texas accent.
Oh yeah. It's definitely not a Texas. Yeah, see, I think.
But yeah, when he's just like Carl, like yeah, that's how a Southerner says Carl. You know, Carl.
See, I think a Texas accent is harder to do.
I think so too. Especially because people like Texas is synonymous with the South. Like you think Georgia, if you're from the North, like yeah, it's in the South, but when you think a Southern accent, you're thinking like Texas or Mississippi or maybe even like Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, to me those come to mind. But like you don't think Oklahoma and like yeah, that's the South.
Yeah.
Like you think of Texas.
Midwest.
When you think of a Southern accent, you think Texas.
You got that.
You know,
Southern
you think cowboy
drawl.
hats and Wrangler jeans and boots and horses and
the governor shooting coyotes.
yeah, Coyote Killer, 38 Special,
Yeah.
Coyote Killer.
You know what's ironic though is the rest of the South doesn't consider Texas the South. The rest of the South considers if you can't go to a restaurant and order sweet tea, you are not in the South.
Well, you can order sweet tea in Texas.
It's not the same though. Their sweet tea is like Kool-Aid.
Ugh. Oh, not even from like the herbal, not even from like the leaves, tea leaves.
Well, I mean, it's real tea, but that's how much sugar is in there.
Oh, I mean, I like my sugar. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
not like Kool-Aid sugar.
No, that's like you take a sip and you feel your teeth just like disintegrating.
oh,
It's
like that the cockroach alien from MIB. More,
Yeah.
more sugar.
I was
More
thinking,
sugar.
I was thinking of the acid blood from aliens just eating through your enamel.
Oh, dude, it's like an ulcer. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, like when you have people like make fun of like Texas accents, they're like, "Hey y'all, how's it going?"
Yeah,
you know, it's
yeah.
just like, no. Or like when people think of Texas, it's just like, "What's going on there, baby? I'm Cooter Brown. I put the hole in the macaroni."
Yeah, that's
You know?
how we're at.
It's like, yeah, that's not what I mean. There's people that do sound like that.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't sound that cartoonish. They don't fucking sound like Yosemite Sam. You know, they're like really nice. Good, like they sound more like Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like that
yeah.
kind of. That's where like deep Texas accents really sound like. Well,
Uh.
ma'am, I don't know what I've got this. No, I can't even think of a sentence to say. Like, how you doing, ma'am?
I make sure all my
mighty
beef.
nice to meet you. You know, like people, even if they're racist, they're well for the most part they're nice. Like I remember sitting in a class and this dude was the sheriff of a smaller county, and like the most people they have in their jail was like 120.
Oh,
like
wow.
that was their maximum.
Yeah.
And he never really exceed anything past like 80.
Mm.
It was like, wow, that's like 80 is like one unit here.
Yeah.
You know, where we work. And so it's just like, wow, man. It's like our max is like 2,500 people.
Yeah.
And we have about 2,200. It's like your max is 150 and you have about 80? So, but he had that kind of
Sounds
accent.
quaint.
He was wearing a cowboy hat. He was like
Yeah.
your typical. The only thing he was missing was a bolo tie, and thank God he had the decency to be wearing an actual tie.
Did he have chewing tobacco?
No, he did not have chewing tobacco. We're tobacco free, remember? But
Oh, okay. Was that at work?
yeah, it was at work.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was a class I was taking there. But yeah, and he was like the sheriff doing his like the classes here because that's where they send people. Like we get people from other counties
Yeah.
to come take the classes that we more or less kind of take for granted. So it's like we're getting these classes free, and they're having to like their sheriff is pretty much taking the bill and the taxpayers from where he's going to spend like $1,000 for the whole week for room and board and to take the classes for what we pretty much get for free.
Yeah, yeah. They got
So
to
it's
sell
like-
off all their livestock.
Yeah, but I remember, like, you know, the guy teaching the class was just like, oh, so how do they do things there? It's like, you know, how do you have? It's like, well, we serve them slop. I was like, if you ever hear anyone else, like, try to mimic that, we
Yeah.
serve them slop!
Yeah, yeah.
Just like, yeah, I don't know. There's just little nuances that you have to understand when you're making the Texas accent. It's like when I make an English accent, I'm sure it's not convincing. Or when I make a Scottish or Irish accent, it's not very, or even a Russian one.
Yeah,
it's
'cause there's some-
cartoony. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a convincing. I wish I could make a convincing accent, but I can't.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like you have to actually know, because the whole thing with accents is like the way certain words are pronounced.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what makes the accent. Like, the only thing I know specifically is with like Jamaicans, like a lot of them don't pronounce the H.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you wanted to do a good Jamaican accent, you know, that's like one of the telltale signs of like what makes a convincing accent. Whereas most people, like, they hear the accent and they try to mimic it, but they don't really know like the details of what makes
What
it
to
good.
take out, what to
Yeah.
add in. One day we'll be.
Yeah, we'll be the greatest.
We'll be great at pretending we're Russian.
We'll be so great at accents. Our names will have the little mark.
They'll have accent. Oh, the
Yeah.
little noodle.
Yeah,
Oh,
they'll
above
have
the
accents
end?
on them. Yeah, and then we'll have all the noodles.
Lemonade.
Mon ami. All right, so we got one more article to close it all out. because we know how much the world loves, or Hollywood knows how much the world loves remakes. So they're going to remake in 1984. So you think, okay, the political climate. We know we got NSA spying. Maybe that's a good time for a Big Brother related movie.
Okay.
V for Vendetta went over well, and then they're like, yeah, but here's a twist. It's going to be a romantic, quote-unquote, remake of 1984.
Oh, with Kristen Stewart?
Yeah. And on top of that, we're going to have the most animated actress
yeah.
this side of the Mississippi.
She smiles once every third blue moon.
Yeah. Like, this article is from I09. The thing that's most interesting about it is... basically, she's, afraid that she won't be able to do it justice. Which, okay, I'm sure most people would agree that she can't.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, if you're the actual person, taking the role, you might want to at least have, okay, I can do this. That's why I accepted the role. Instead of, oh, I really hope the director can make me look good, because this is a really important movie, and I don't want to fuck it up. So, basically, let me see. I think they have the premise on here of the way they described it. Let's see, where is it now? God damn it. Okay, so cannot find it. I just thought it was at the end of the sentence, and it just sounded really lame. Okay, start from the top. Okay, yeah, so she's talking about explaining, she's just nervous to take the part.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's the other part, which is not really that interesting to me, but I guess, Jennifer Lawrence's, real-life boyfriend is going to be the person that she's going to make out with, and then everyone's like, oh my god, she's going to steal Jennifer Lawrence's boyfriend. It's like, really? Come on, y'all.
That only means she'll be available afterwards. I don't see the downside.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so stupid. It's just, the worst type of link bait. I can't seem to find the quote now. But basically, just imagine... You take a really good concept that made a film that people enjoyed, that spawned an Apple commercial, and you take all that out, and you put in Kristen Stewart in sappy romance, and there you go, 1984 for the tweens.
Yep.
Which is pretty much what I'm expecting. So
Stephanie Meyer gives her thumbs of approval.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They brought her in as a consultant. How can we make this more crappy? Oh, I know.
Well, I wouldn't say crappy, but we'll make it more romantic.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't say crappy. I would just say accessible.
Yeah, we're going to say crappy. How do we do that?
Yeah. But, okay, yeah, so this is her quote about, taking the role. So it's trust Drake's process, first name greatest, last name ever, and we know we'll do something really natural and real. Yeah, because that definitely describes her. But I told Drake, don't expect that I'm going to be able to do this. It's too hard. But he wouldn't take no for an answer. I've given directors disclaimers before, but never this much. So, at least the director knows what he's getting into. To me, the fact that where she's like, yeah, I can't do this, and he's like, no, I got to have you, I don't know. It just feels like, I feel like, you know what? Actually, what I feel like they're trying to do with this movie, the reason why they're doing it this way, they're trying to make another Hunger Games. Because you think of Hunger Games, it's been incredibly successful. It has an appeal to the tween market, but it has a general appeal where everyone likes it.
Unfortunately, yes.
I think it's a good movie.
Meh.
Dude, come on. Compared to, Twilight, you're telling me for, that demographic?
Twilight's its own piece of crap, though.
It is, but, the Hunger Games are solid movies. Even if you don't love them, they're still okay, this is a good movie.
They're okay.
But yeah, I'm not saying
they're
I'm not saying that they're fantastic.
MEH, capitals.
Okay, well, I liked the second one. I thought it was good. But anyway.
I boycotted it.
Yeah, well,
I wasn't impressed with the first one.
It was better than the first one. So your loss, sir. And Rue died for nothing. So you eat those berries.
She always died for nothing.
Exactly.
And they had it to where... you know what? I don't even want to talk about it. We've
talked
talked about it too many times.
Now she's died for something. But anyway, my whole point is it's this dystopian universe that normally wouldn't be that appealing. Because it's you could put it on par with the Harry Potter movies. It's oh, I would love to live in Harry Potter world. They know magic, and I'm a witch.
Yeah.
You go to Hunger Games, it's I wouldn't want to live there at all. That place sucks.
Yeah.
You got to fight to the death whether you're age 12. But it's I feel like they're doing kind of the same thing, where it's all right, let's get a dystopian future, throw some romance in there. Maybe there might be a love triangle, some pita bread.
I feel like they're doing it with the wrong movie. If this was Brave New World, it'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brave New World was about the whole thing to where you have sex partners and you're just mindless about it.
Yeah.
You're just who it was abnormal to not hook up with anybody over the weekend.
Yeah.
In Brave New World, And that would make sense if you're finding love in a world that pretty much dissolved love a long time ago. Whereas 1984 is all about oppression.
Yeah.
It's all about keeping you down and having rations, and you have like credits for food that you can't even fucking afford, and it's fucking made with crap that's bad for you.
It's
so no matter what you're doing, like cigarettes are more affordable than a loaf of bread, and anything you do in this world is basically meant for you not to live long.
Yeah, yeah.
And to live oppressed. And to live depressed. Like, that's 1984. Brave New World was more of a dystopian future where it's like, yeah, there's good stuff, but everyone's so detached from each other.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, emotionally. Whereas, like, why don't you just do that with a Brave New World? Just do Brave New World and be like, we found love in a world that pretty much disproved it. You know?
I'm almost positive that they will. I think this movie's going to come out, do well enough that they're like, all right, we got to do this again. And
I mean, I disapprove of doing either.
Oh, yeah,
But if you were going to do it with either of those two, it's like 1984 is the movie where I think the message would be lost. And like, you know, like I think it was
a message with Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Mary Sue or what is it? Cinema Blend, where it was like, hey, and how this might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I was just like, if it's 1984, it's a bad idea because it completely dismisses the whole concept of what George Orwell was trying to have us picture, and that world is slowly creeping in on us.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't see love really going away anytime soon. I see people getting married for reasons. And in George Orwell's world, it was like nobody was married, everyone was depressed, and everyone was like too depressed to find love.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it didn't matter. And like, yeah, you had the kind of sappy love thing at the end, but that was like with the person that kind of betrayed you during the end of the book.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't read the movie by at least 1950, I'm pretty sure you can cliff notes it. I'm sorry you got spoiled for you.
Spark Notes still around?
I never did Spark Notes.
Really?
I rarely even did Cliff Notes, but Cliff Notes were more prevalent.
Well, Spark Notes was online. That's why a lot of people use it.
Oh, see, I didn't do Spark Notes.
You didn't have those internet. Yeah, it's still around.
Yeah.
In case just in case you kids are in high school and you don't want to read the books.
But Brave New World was completely different. It was mostly like about drugs and how it was like everything was more or less legal, and how like getting with somebody was like the thing to do for the weekend. Like, hey, who are you hooking up with this weekend?
Yeah.
Whereas like nowadays it's like, oh, dude, I'm getting with Jenny Silverman or whatever. You know, yeah, I got Maggie whatever tonight. You know, it's gonna be awesome. Like, you had to do all this stuff and get her flowers, and she said, yeah, we're going to bang tonight, bro. And then you bro out with your bros. But, like, in Brave New World, it's just like everyone is looking for someone.
Yeah.
You know, like, because they don't want to be out of the norm. You know, and there's, like, that one person that the book starts with where, like, they don't have they're not looking for anyone. You're like, that person's weird.
Yeah, yeah,
You know? Like, okay, just do it with fucking Brave New World. Like, that, I don't know. I can't get over that. Just, like, leave my 1984 alone. That is a masterpiece. Leave it the fuck alone. Brave New World, I was never really into Brave New World.
I didn't like that one nearly as much.
Yeah, it wasn't as good, but, like, 1984 just felt developed overall.
Yeah.
And Brave New World was just like, yeah, it's an interesting concept, but the story's kind of shoddy.
Yeah.
It's a good book for kids to read, like, early in high school or middle school, but it's not, like, one of those, like, books that you really need in your library to show like, hey, this guy knows his shit. Like Brave New World is just very preteen.
You just need it for your summer reading list.
Yeah.
You got to write a paper on it.
1984 is a masterpiece.
And you also have to write a paper on this podcast.
Yeah.
But actually, before I forget, because I even put it in my notes, I still almost forgot. But yes, this is also the second episode where we'll be giving away we'll be telling you the passphrase that you can win the Dark Knight trilogy on Blu-ray.
Right.
So we gave away the first passphrase, the first word of the passphrase on episode 98. So in this episode 99, I'll be giving you the passphrase, the second half of the passphrase, which you will need to send us. You can send it to us via Facebook, via Twitter, or at email contact@ptwor.com. Right. And I'm going to post all the names on the Facebook, so if you don't see your name and I missed it, that way you'll be able to say, like, hey, I said my passphrase.
Yeah.
So the second word is surprise. So surprise. And
surprise.
for those of you that have the first word, and play Marvel vs. Capcom, you know what the reference is. Deadpool, anyone?
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of gave it away. Well, whatever.
Not necessarily.
If they were listening, they would know.
Well, I'm saying if they play the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure not that many. Well, some people do. But, yeah. So I just wanted to get that. I just want to read this. So when I pulled up Spark Notes, you know, the whole thing is it's just pretty much online Cliff Notes. But I guess, like, since I've been on there, like, 12 years later, they've added articles. And they have 5 top stories, and the first top story is, should midriffs be allowed to attend prom?
Get the fuck out of there.
It's a question for the ages.
They should.
I just thought it was hilarious.
You're the judge.
I just love how, like, I don't know, like, there's some things I miss about, like, being younger, like, in high school and stuff. It's like, that's one of them that I don't miss. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Like, that's, like, a huge controversy. It's like, you can see stomach. You can see her belly button.
God.
Like,
I think for me in high school, it was all, or even in junior high, because Dale Valley was filled with sluts getting pregnant. Because nobody knew how to teach their kids better.
Did they do it through the midriff?
Probably. I was one of the losers, like I said earlier. But like there was a classroom literally dedicated to like pregnant kids.
Oh wow.
Or like 14-year-old fathers to be and mothers. You know.
Oh man.
There was one girl
rough.
that dropped out of junior high, and I didn't see her till that was 7th grade, and she didn't come back till 9th grade. Because she had gotten pregnant and didn't want anybody to know. But like the rumor had gone around, like, yeah, that's why you don't see. I think her name was Amy. That's why you don't see her around anymore. Yeah, because she had gotten pregnant. It was a big embarrassment. She ended up keeping the kid, and she came back in 9th grade.
Hey guys, remember me?
Yeah, but she was in like the class that had like the pregnant kids. Down the road.
This is how you make formula.
Yeah. But, yeah, the big thing back then, I remember our principal, his principal Esquivel, I think, or he was the vice principal, maybe, I forget. But he would go around with a ruler.
Yeah.
And go. I think it was just a creepy attempt to, like, touch underage girls' legs.
Yeah.
And he would, like, grab their thighs and, like, put the ruler, and it had to be below 3 inches. So if it was, if the gap between their knee and their dress was 3 inches or more, then they would be written up, or their parents would be called to bring a change of clothes, or they would be asked to like get in their gym shorts. But it was such a double standard because like when you would see the girls during PE, especially the girls that play volleyball, like volleyball shorts are practically underwear. They're just really tight, and just like you're seeing a butt at its most beautiful. Like it doesn't get any nicer looking. Than in volleyball shorts or in bloomers or just practically buck naked.
Yeah, I was
like looking at a girl's butt doesn't get any better than those 3 options, in my opinion. Or cotton underwear.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like, that's definitely something that they should have had like a female teacher doing because that does seem really creepy.
He was just like put it right there on their thigh like that, and he's not like caressing or like molesting, but it's like you're grabbing an underage girl's leg.
Yeah, it's still rather inappropriate.
Yeah, it was inappropriate, and he's just sitting there just like with the ruler, like, nope, you need to go to my office and change. You need to change. Go to the restroom and change. You can't be wearing that. You're gonna be written up. And then spaghetti straps was another thing.
Yeah.
Just like
tube tops, all the above.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, and even then, it's like, why are the kids getting punished? It's like, the parents should be talked to. Like, why are you buying your kids this crap? It's not allowed in school.
Stop getting clothes from Abercrombie. They send a bad message.
They weren't getting that kind of stuff in Del Valley, I can tell you that.
Well, stop buying clothes from insert other store.
Goodwill. I don't know.
From, I don't know. But anyway.
A store, TJ Maxx.
I was trying to think of a store that had, or a restaurant that had spaghetti in the title.
Spaghetti Warehouse.
There you go. Yeah.
Spaghetti O's.
Because all that came to mind was Macaroni Grill, and then the joke just self-destructed.
Spaghetti Joe's.
Spaghetti O's. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, and once again, be sure to check out the previous podcast if you would like to win a copy of the Dark Knight Trilogy on Blu-ray.
We'll be announcing the winner.
Yeah, we'll be announcing the winner on episode 100, which is next Monday. We'll be broadcasting live. So
same Pit War time.
Same Pit War channel. Anyway, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
And this has been Straight
Outta Austin.
Spaghetti.
Make sure to follow us on
Twitter.
at PTWOR.
Check us out on Punching the Walls of Reality. Also, check us out on Spreaker.com/Fern. We're also proud members of the 4Rad Radio Network.
Yes.
And, if you're listening via Mixler, which you're not because nobody's listening right now, but if you have intentions of listening live and joining us in the chat room, I would highly suggest that you follow us on Mixler. That way you get alerted via email whenever we go online, just in case Facebook decides to not update you.
Yeah.
Suckenbird sucks.
And I attribute our lack of audience due to MLK Day, because last week we had like 7 people.
Yeah, we had a packed house.
We had a packed house.
I think everyone's too busy letting freedom ring.
Yeah, celebrating MLK
thing.
Day, and here we are not celebrating MLK Day.
And this is how I celebrate it.
But anyways,
this is my freedom to do this podcast because he died.
Please follow us
freedom.
on Mixler and hit the Facebook page, like the Facebook page, Punching Walls of Reality, and you'll get the updates on when we're going live. But it's usually, unless we announce it, it's always Mondays at 8 p.m. Central.
You'll sometimes get the updates because it's Facebook, and they want you to pay.
Yes.
Your hard-earned cash.
Also find us on Facebook. That way you can always get updates. And what else do we have? Pitwar.com as always. Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, I mean...
YouTube, our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Get the tube.
Punching the Pit War. Pit War 512, or you can look up Punching the Walls of Reality on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. We have some incredibly funny Let's Plays, so you can always be watching those until you get our next awesome comic review or cosplay blog on our website, or even our next
well, speaking of that, I like to plug
video.
my own section.
Yeah.
Which is I just started it this week. It's or last week for you guys. Indie Comic Spotlight, and basically I'm just every week or bi-weekly, depending on how much time I have. Just we can bring it to your attention like a different indie comic. You know, everyone knows about Marvel, everyone knows about DC. Not everybody knows about these comics that are out, and specifically the ones that have been like Kickstarter funded, and they're really good. And just to give them another outlet and get more eyeballs on them. Yeah. So the one I did this week was Evercross by Bobic Avik or something.
Bobic Alva.
Yeah, was that it?
Yeah.
Bobic Alva, and then
I forget the other guy.
I feel bad because I actually interviewed these guys and met them.
Yeah.
But
can't remember everyone's names.
Yeah, but the other guy that's the artist, and he's a good artist. And I'm stalling for time.
It's a pretty cool series.
While I pull up his name. Ah, okay. Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, but how do you mistake Kevin Johnson?
That's the why. It's just like Kevin Johnson's such like easy name to remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So check them out. They also have a Facebook page, the Evercross. So check them out. You might like their comic, especially if you like westerns and a southern drawl.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, check us out.
In a southern drawl.
Yeah.
They took our dogs.
They took our dogs.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, punchers. Keep on punching the walls of reality.